It is a chilly day in Denver, Colorado as we start the second half of the season with the first place Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs are leading the AFC West by a half game over idle Oakland, and the Chargers also with a bye making a move, all serving as our backdrop today here in Denver. And with Solomon Wilcott's Kevin Harlan, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. What impressions did you take away from the West Coast last week? The Raiders in overtime beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
First of all, I think I learned that the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Matt Castle provides a tremendous template for winning. It starts with his consistency and leadership at the team's most important position. More than anything, he provides balance with the league's best rushing attack. How about the tandem of Thomas Jones and Jamal Charles? Jones has the power to take it up the middle, and then Charles has the explosive ability to hit the edge and take it to the house. His 6.4 yards per carry, best in the National Football League.
Late news from the Chiefs, inactive today, Dexter McCluster. Now for the Denver Broncos, their arguably best defensive player the first half of the season, DJ Williams, will not start today. Off the field issues, more on that coming up. 4 consecutive losses for the Broncos. This is a critical game.
And more importantly, it's a critical game for Kyle Orton, their quarterback. They put a lot on his shoulders, and he tends to play well. Now he has to get the ball into the end zone, in the red zone. More than anything, his 300-plus yard passing per game, second most in the National Football League. 5 interceptions after attempting over 300 passes, I think is pretty good. His 2,500 passing yards in their first 8 games of the season, the most by any quarterback in the history of the Denver Broncos. Again, he's got to score in the red zone. It's about points, not yards.
As you take a look at our weather today, 43 degrees. There is a breeze to contend with. They say it'll pick up as the game goes on. And a look at the second-year head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, 43-year-old Todd Haley. And on the other side, Josh McDaniels at 34. He began 6-0. They've gone 4-14 since. So obviously a lot on the line for the 2-6 Broncos against the 5-3 Chiefs. Ryan Suckup will be kicking off for Kansas City as the Chiefs lost the toss of the coin. Demaryius Thomas is deep back for Denver. It's the Chiefs, it's the Broncos. Big game in the West, and away we go from chilly Denver. They'll leave it in the end zone for a touchback, and it will be first down and 10 from the 20 for the number 8 offense in the NFL, led by Kyle Orton. Number 3, Solomon in passing yards in the NFL, but the 5th most sacked quarterback in the league as well.
Kyle Orton talked about getting off to a fast start. They've only scored 7 points in the first quarter of their game so far this year, the worst in the National Football League. I think it's imperative that they get on the scoreboard early to try to take the Kansas City Chiefs out of their running game. A healthy lead will go a long way in helping in that goal.
Reno is in the backfield, first and 10 from the 20. And right on the money. Working on Flowers. Gaffney, they're waving it off. They're waving it off. No completion on the play. It'll be second down and 10. Going for Jabbar Gaffney. The offensive line for Denver with some changes. Ryan Harris is back in as the right tackle. Zane Beadles, a rookie, goes to left guard. And the trio of Brandon Lloyd, Gaffney, and Royal, number 1 in the NFL as a group in receptions and in yards. It'll be second down and 10. Good time with the block by Clady across the way. That is caught. Eddie Royal. And the gain is 9. Working on Price. All right, for Kansas City's number 15 defense, Sean Smith starting for Tyson Jackson in the Kansas City 34. Eric Johnson, fresh off signing a contract extension this week, leads Kansas City in tackles. And John McGraw is out with concussion symptoms from last week, and Donald Washington will be taking his place. It is 3rd and 1 in the game's opening drive. Spencer Larson. They'll take it right up the middle, and he'll pick up a couple yards on the play. Edwards at the bottom of that pile. Jackson was in. They get the first down. And they'll move the ball to the 31.
You know, we come in, we talk so much about the Kansas City Chiefs, their ability to run the football. And Denver and Josh McDaniels, they spent the entire bye week trying to prepare their run defense to improve, where they rank 31st in the NFL. How do you protect your run defense? you got to keep your offense on the field, convert on third down, and create long drives, put points on the board.
1st and 10. Going deep and looking for Roy. Did he catch the ball? Oh, what a grab at the 31-yard line. Deep back Carr. And deep back Washington. A 37-yard strike to start things off for Denver.
Well, watch the left side of your screen. They're going to attack over the top of the head of Washington. See, his helmet is facing the quarterback. He is not able to find the ball, and so that's the target point, and just a great catch by Brandon Lloyd. But they're attacking the safety down the field, trying to throw the ball right over the top of his head where he can't find the ball. Brandon Lloyd was able to locate it. Washington was not.
Lloyd has more receiving yards in the NFL than any other wide receiver. 1st down and 10. Barry on the blitz. Incomplete across the way. The second-year tight end Gronkowski was on the move. It'll be 2nd down and 10. You had an inkling they would go deep early in this game, didn't you?
I thought they would, because they need to get off to a fast start. As you take a look at Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs today, remember he is without 2 of his big safeties in terms of the starter, John McGraw. Kendrick Lewis, the excellent rookie from Ole Miss, he's out. And so Todd Haley is having to go with his 3rd corner, and Donald Washington, and the Denver Broncos come out on the attack.
Moreno on 2nd down and 10. Wrapped up down at the Kansas City 17-yard line, hit by Derek Johnson. Washington there as well. That's a 14-yard burst, and another Denver 1st down to the Chiefs 17.
How about the Broncos giving them a taste of their own medicine? Some power inside running with Moreno. And I just think it's going to be a real interesting thing today to figure out if this offensive line for the Denver Broncos has finally come together. They were banged up, a lot of injuries during training camp the earlier part of the season. They said this is the healthy this offensive line has been all season long.
Game opening drive. It's 1st and 10 for Denver from the Chiefs 17. And going deep and incomplete in the corner of the end zone. Carr was defending, and the rookie Demaryius Thomas was back there, the #1 pick out of Georgia Tech.
They're pushing the ball down the field today, Kevin. I thought Thomas had an opportunity to haul this one in right off the fingertips. So he had Carr beat. Nice throw by Kyle Orton. And Thomas, the rookie, has to come through for his quarterback. They're inside that red zone that we said. They can move the ball from the 20s to the other 20. Once they get inside the 20-yard line, what we know is the red zone, this offense has struggled.
Wildcat, 2nd down and 10. Now they go back to Orton under center. Moreno, chase by Belcher, and in for the touchdown. A 17-yard catch and run, and Denver is on the board.
Kyle Orton told us when we talked to him on Friday that patience inside the red zone. See, he wanted to go over to his right side over here. But watch him come back to Noshawn Moreno. So patience buy time for Moreno to detach from coverage and watch him power his way in the end zone. He knows that down there he can't afford to go out of bounds. It's his only shot to score a touchdown was after he caught the ball.
Noshawn Moreno's 2nd touchdown, a 3rd touchdown reception this season. Here is the Prater extra point, and 7-0 Denver. They have put a lot into this game. 12:02 to play in the 1st. An early and distinct message sent by the 2-6 in last place Denver Broncos. Pretty impressive game opening drive by the Denver Broncos.
Early points in the 1st quarter is what they needed. They were going to preach that throughout the entire week of their bye week, and entering into this game puts a lot of pressure, I think, on the Kansas City Chiefs to have to match this explosive offense for the Denver Broncos.
And here's the kickoff by Prater. This is Javier Arenas from the 7-yard line with a block by Copper. Out to about the 28-yard line, and gang tackled there on a 22-yard return. Kyle Orton with the touchdown pass. A good catch and run by Noshawn Moreno. 7-0 Denver. Catch and run, Noshawn Moreno. Touchdown pass by Orton. Let's see how the Chiefs respond here early from the 28, 1st down and 10. Taking the end around, Jamal Charles. Hit on the play by Joe Mays. It's a gain of 2. He's to the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense comes in number 13 in the league. Quarterback Matt Castle attempted a season-high 35 passes last week. But Solomon, he's been sacked 3 times each of the last 2 games.
Yeah, but he has always made the plays. And I thought last week gave them a chance to win the ball game. And now they come into this week's game just wanting to play clean and error-free. Hard to do when you're playing from behind.
2nd down and 8. Copper with the catch, working on Mays, 42-yard line. That's a catch at 12 and a Kansas City first down. The center, Casey Wigman, a Bronco for the last 2 years, is back with the Chiefs, and one of the major reasons why they are running the ball so well. Number 1 in the NFL. And they will interchange Jones along with Jamal Charles. Charles in there right now, but Jones has had a terrific impact on this team in his first year. 1st and 10. Charles. Not much of a gain across the way. Mays was there making the stop, and we'll call it no gain, staying at the 42-yard line. Denver's defense, number 23. Broncos spent a lot of money on free agents Jamal Williams and Justin Bannon. They're number 31 against the run. DJ Williams will not be starting today. Wesley Woodyard will take his place. Robert Ayers being replaced by Mario Hagan. And Andre Goodman is out with a quad injury, replaced by rookie Parrish Cox. 2nd down, long 9. And DJ will be in on that stop after a gain of 2 yards. It's up to the 45-yard line. Woodyard was in there. And the stop on Thomas Jones. A look at Josh McDaniels. He's got his plate full here in Denver.
Absolutely. He's got his hands full trying to get his run defense. The 31st ranked run defense in the National Football League. 2nd worst, going against this top-rated, number 1 ranked rushing attack of the Kansas City Chiefs. Can they hold up over the course of 4 quarters?
Charles is in. On 3rd down and 7, flag thrown. That is a catch by Charles. Slipping by Dawkins. Knocked out of bounds on the play by Ronaldo Hill. They'll spot him, at least right now, after that catch run of 18 down to the 37-yard line. Penalties were a problem for the Chiefs last week. Let's see who this is on. Mike Carey is our referee here today.
Illegal motion. Offense number 25 was moving forward at the snap. The 5-yard penalty. So 3rd down.
Now becoming 3rd and 12.
It's Jamal Charles. And Todd Haley told us that we have to get him matched up in coverage in the passing game, where he averages 10.5 yards after the catch. But see the illegal motion, see, he never gets set. And these are some of the small nuances young running backs have to learn in the National Football League. He can play with the ball in his hands. He's very explosive. But when he doesn't have it in his hands, he has to still do the little things right. It's all about the details.
3rd and 12. Over the head of Charles, and he was open in the middle. Mays was tailing. Justin Bannon took a good look on Castle, and the Chiefs on their first possession have got a punt today. 5 plays and punt.
He played collegiately at the University of Colorado. He's close to home. Look at him playing with great intensity. And he told us that a few weeks ago in that game against the Raiders, he said it was the most embarrassing game of my life. And you see him early putting the pressure and hit on Matt Castle.
Colquitt to punt. This is Dustin. His brother Britton punts for Denver. Eddie Royal back. Hang time of 5.03, 42-yard punt on the play. Here come the Broncos.
Kevin, the Broncos need more than just big numbers from their quarterback. Remember John Elway's 4,000-yard passing season in '93. He didn't win a Super Bowl until his last 2 years, and Plummer had over 4,000 yards in '04. Never took the team to the playoffs. And Jay Cutler, 4,500 yards passing in '08. He never went to the playoffs in his 2 seasons. And while Plummer did take him to the playoffs, never to the Super Bowl.
1st and 10 handoff. This is Moreno. Brought down by Derek Johnson. Dragging him down. 26-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play.
Kyle Orton is on pace for 5,000 passing yards this season. That's never been done by any Broncos quarterback. But wins have been hard to come by. We talked about it during that first possession, Kevin, that, you know, the yards are good, but points are better. And the fact that he was able to finish off that possession by putting points on the board, that's a good sign for the Broncos.
2nd down and 1. Looking catch right here. That's Demaryius Thomas. Brought down by Derek Johnson. That's a catch and gain of 13 yards to the 40-yard line.
On that first possession, how about Kyle Orton coming out, slinging the ball down the field, being very aggressive and attacking down the field with the vertical passing game, and then getting the ball in the hands of Noshawn Marino, and then their ability to score inside the red zone. It's the first time all season they were able to score their first possession of the ball game.
1st and 10, Eddie Royal on the end around. Nice block by Demaryius Thomas, belted out of bounds by Washington. The catch and run taken to the Kansas City 41-yard line. A gain of 19 for number 19.
And right now, the Denver Broncos offense has this Kansas City Chiefs defense back on their heels. They are attacking with the passing game, but to manufacture yards running the football, how about the reverse end around by Eddie Royal? And the blocking by Demaryius Thomas down the field. Anytime you get those long runs, that means wide receivers are putting in work.
After the longest run this season by Denver, 1st and 10 for Kyle Orton. Gaffney to the 34. Carr with the tackle. It's a gain of 8 on the play.
Quick passing, timely carries by the wide receivers in terms of the running game. Very creative play calling in the early going by Josh McDaniels. At the end of the day, will the Denver Broncos be able to line up and pound the running game, something they've also worked on during the bye week? They know they're going to have to improve their ability to run the football.
Kansas City number 9 in the NFL against the run. 2nd down and 2. Moreno with a big hole. Climbing for the first down to the 24 of Kansas City. That's a gain of 9 on the play. Washington in the secondary with the stop.
You ask for it and you get it.
That's right.
You ask for inside running. Look at that. Does it get any better than that? We've waited all season long to get this from the Denver Broncos. And if you give that kind of running game, that kind of balance to a quarterback like Kyle Orton, now you're talking about an offense that could become one of the best in the NFL.
Shane Beadle's the guard with the block right there. 1st and 10, outside Royals skipping his way into the grasp of Belcher among a couple. Washington there, gain of 6. Mark him at the 18-yard line of Kansas City. So a nice combination of run and pass and a great tempo early on for Orton.
Absolutely. 6 plays so far in this possession, 6 runs, 6 pass. But now they've entered that dreaded area we call the red zone, where this offense has struggled all year. We talked about them scoring on the first possession. Would it be huge for this offense to go 14-0 here at home against their divisional rival?
On 2nd down and 4, Moreno, another gigantic hole. Breaking the tackle of Carr. Brought down by Flowers. Galloping for 11 to the Kansas City 7.
Kevin, they came in as the worst rushing offense in the National Football League. The worst in team history. 2.9 yards per carry. Never before seen here in Denver. Remember when Shanahan was here, this was a team that could always rush for 1,000 yards. It was never a problem to run the football until this year. They feel like if they can get that back, as you take a look at the numbers and how much they have struggled already today, eclipsing just about what they've done in terms of their per-game average.
1st and goal from the 7. Moreno already has a touchdown. Sean Smith among many that plug up the middle, a gain of a yard, and down to the 6-yard line. And we mentioned this earlier on, but the Broncos know they're facing a real tough portion of their schedule. They've got to show something today.
And, we talk with a lot of coaches around the National Football League, Kevin, and they all pretty much say the same thing. They say the most desperate team usually wins. And Josh McDaniels and his group are very desperate, but they know with 5 games remaining inside of the division that if they're going to start playing football, it begins today against the Kansas City Chiefs.
2nd down and goal at the 6. Touchdown! Brandon Lloyd beating Brandon Carr.
Kyle Orton going to the guy he told us he has the most confidence in Brandon Lloyd. Watch him beat the double coverage over here. He beats both defenders. He gets inside the safety, inside the corner. Brandon Carr, who's looking at Washington as if you were supposed to provide help inside, and that's what safeties are supposed to do, provide inside leverage on the coverage, and Washington was not there to help his corner.
Raider will try the extra point, and it is 14-0 Denver. A 19-yard run by Royal. A 13-yard catch and run by Thomas. And then Brandon Lloyd smears one in the back of the end zone for the Broncos. What to make of the Broncos? The 8 previous games, first quarter total 7 points. Today in 10.5 minutes, 14 points.
The miracle of a bye week.
Yeah, I guess so.
You get extra time to work on these things, and you emphasize it throughout the couple of weeks that you have to practice. And that was my number one question to Josh McDaniel. What was the point of emphasis during the bye week? And he said our first quarter scoring, and boy, have they responded to that.
Here's rookie Javier Arenas from the 2 for Kansas City. Beckham brought down on the play. David Bruton makes the stop at the 21, 20-yard return. Now Matt Castle playing from behind because Royal and Moreno and Lloyd have been spectacular in starting. What's that score do to Kansas City's offense this early?
They have to remain patient. Stick with the running game. That's how you got to 5-3, and that's how you have to improve. Stay patient. Still a lot of time left in this ball game. Don't start throwing it all over the yard.
This is Charles on first down and 10. DJ Williams has got a beat on him and brings him down. That's the guy we were talking about before. Gain of 3 to the 24-yard line. The new NFL.com mobile apps are here no matter where you are. You can stay in the game all season long. Go to NFL.com/mobile to learn more. Let's fill you in on this DJ Williams situation. Leading tackler, stripped of his captaincy, fined $15,000 by the team. He didn't start today. Punishment for his arrest early Friday morning on suspicion of drunk driving. 2nd down and 7. Charles. Cox with the block. And a gain of 3. Jamal Williams was right there. Solomon at the 27-yard line for Denver.
Oh, DJ Williams, a bit embarrassing moment for him. No longer the captain of this football team. Now he's got to be able to focus. He's got to be able to play the game of his life because you feel like you robbed the team of the momentum gained during preparation and practice during the week, and for the unfortunate set of circumstances to occur, I think the only way that you can build up good equity with your football team, you got to come out and play lights out.
Six defensive backs, 3rd down and 4. Going deep and just out of the reach. Chambers, 3 and out for the Chiefs. Cox was back there, along with Ronaldo Hill for Denver.
Oh, it's an overthrown ball. More than anything, the score is helping the Denver Broncos run defense. They're forcing the Cleveland Browns to have to throw the ball on 3rd and medium. And if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you don't want to take the ball out of the hands of Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones.
Royal is back, and a punt, Colquitt. 5 and punt for Kansas City. This is a 3 and out for the Chiefs, almost blocked with great penetration. Royal is back from the 29. Chased by Arenas. Out of bounds he goes. And it was a 44-yard punt. It was a 19-yard return again by number 19, Eddie Royal, who had an end around on a 19-yard run earlier in the game. And Denver's going to begin with good beginning field position tomorrow on CBS. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 news show, Hawaii 5-0. That's tomorrow, and it's only on CBS. Look where they start here. Solomon at the 47-yard line.
Excellent field position, and you're witnessing a very balanced attack by the Denver Broncos.
Gaffney, Orton. They want to go deep. They're going to go underneath. That is Moreno, and the coverage by Berry, and the gain takes him close to a 1st down at the Kansas City 43. Pickup of 10 right there with a little razzle-dazzle.
Remember when I talked to Todd Haley, I said, what do you expect from a team coming off a bye week? He said, we expect them to try a little bit of everything and give us something we haven't seen from them on tape. And that's exactly what they got right there. Fake reverse, throw back to Orton, and then they tried to get the ball down the field, but he took the checker and no Sean Marino. He's completed his last 6 passes as Kyle Orton.
And they give him the 1st down. Gaffney played a little quarterback while in high school down in Florida. On the Kansas City 43, no Sean Marino. And Smith was right there. Also a stop by Ron Edwards. A gain of 3 down close to the Kansas City 40-yard line.
Already we see the Kansas City Chiefs with their backs up against the wall. They played uncharacteristically last week when they lost the game to the Oakland Raiders. They had 12 penalties, a season high for them. They were one of the least penalized teams. They still don't turn it over a whole lot, turned it over twice in that game. And Todd Haley said, we've got to get back to playing clean, basic, fundamental football. But I think it's hard to do that when you trail 14-0 early in the ball game.
Look at the time, 2nd and 7. He's got his receiver. Oh, what a catch! Gaffney, touchdown!
They are playing with house money. They come in, not much is expected of them. A couple of weeks to prepare, and they're going for the jugular. Up top, without the 2 top safeties in the game for the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a great throw, but an even better catch by Jabbar Gaffney. Did that ball hit the ground, and did the ground help him pull it in? I know they're probably going to take a look at it. I would if I were Todd Haley.
Price, number 35, they just signed him off the practice squad earlier this week, and Todd Haley is going to throw the challenge flag. So we will see if indeed Kyle Orton has thrown his 3rd touchdown pass today to that guy right there. 9th year Florida Gator, formerly of the Gators, Jabbar Gaffney.
Remember, it was ruled a touchdown on the field, and we need clear, visible evidence that it was not a catch.
The ruling on the field is a catch for a touchdown. It's being challenged by Kansas City.
One more time. Derek Johnson was back there. The knee was down, and we'll see when we come back.
Welcome back. We have a couple of looks at it, and from everything that we see, there is nothing that would show that the ball was dislodged from the possession of Jabbar Gaffney once it made contact with the ground. Okay, we see that the ball does make contact with the ground, but we can't see that the ball had been jostled or dislodged after it made contact with the ground. And so by the rule, they would have to uphold this as a catch because there's no clear and visible evidence that the ball was dislodged in any way after Jabbar Gaffney had made the catch. And there is no clear evidence here that after he made the catch that the ball came out in any way, shape, or form, or that there was any movement after he made the catch. I think based on the pictures we showed you and what the officials are seeing, they're going to uphold the ruling on the field, Kevin.
Gaffney, you may recall in that January game of last season, the season finale, had 14 receptions against the Chiefs and 213 receiving yards. And if this is ruled a touchdown, as you see Ricky Price, like we said, he just signed right off the practice squad. No McGraw today, concussion-like symptoms. He took that knee from Robert Gallery in the head late in the game last week out in Oakland, so he is out. And the Chiefs have had to kind of move some parts in that secondary coming into this afternoon's game here in Denver.
No McGraw, no Kendrick Lewis. So Donald Washington has to move into the starting lineup. And Ricky Price, as you said, signed off the practice squad. Now he's in the game. Both guys, if this is upheld, will have been beaten for touchdowns here in the first quarter. And so the Kansas City Chiefs right now leaking oil defensively. There you see the catch. Contact with the ground after that. I don't know that we saw anything that the ball was dislodged from the possession of Jabbar Gaffney. Great effort, by the way. They're taking a long, hard look at it.
Mike Carey.
The replay system was inoperable. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands. It's a score.
I've never heard that explanation.
Kansas City with a team timeout since the system did not work.
Well, the system down on the field, the officials are saying did not work. Now, you saw it at home, and we're seeing it here, and I'm sure that explanation doesn't work for Todd Haley. He's saying, are you kidding me? But if I were to talk to Todd Haley, I would say, Coach, based on what we saw, the ruling on the field should stand. And that's not something the officials can say because they didn't get a second look at it. They had the first initial look on the field, and they ruled it a touchdown. And I think their ruling was correct on the field.
And Kansas City, because it was inoperable, will not lose a timeout, or a timeout with that challenge that was
Boy, if you're Todd
thrown
Haley,
out there.
You got to be saying you're kidding me, right? I mean, There were some tough and difficult calls in that game last week for him against the Oakland Raiders. And by the way, their last 2 games have gone into overtime. So they played in some very close, hard-fought games, and now they find themselves trailing by 21 points if this extra point is made.
Prater makes it 21-0. 3 touchdown passes by Kyle Orton. Moments ago, a 40-yarder hauled in by Jabbar Gaffney. Before that, a 6-yard touchdown pass in the back of the end zone to Brandon Lloyd. And the one that got things started for Denver, a 17-yard catch and run by running back Noshawn Moreno, and some words to his secondary. Santonio Holmes caught a touchdown pass on Rob Ryan's Cleveland Brown defense, and Rex Ryan, his brother, and the Jets get another win in a volatile game in Cleveland with 16 seconds left in overtime. They had gone almost the entire overtime frame.
And Todd Haley is talking to his secondary. He's saying, if we're going to get back in this game, you guys are going to have to slow down Kyle Orton and this passing attack. And we told you at the top, Kevin, just how good Kyle Orton is. Didn't have enough time to tell you how dangerous Brandon Lloyd can be on the back end and how good Jabbar Gaffney and Eddie Royal. Those 3 players, they have racked up some eye-popping numbers in terms of the passing game, and you see it working full effect in the first quarter of this game.
Javier Arenas is back. You saw him bust one last week in Oakland. Let's see if he can do the same now and get the Chiefs at least becoming relevant in this game, because right now 21-0 is a huge hill to climb. And Arenas from the 2 again with a copper block. Running outside, finding a seam, and knocked out of bounds on the play. It looked like it was the kicker, Prater, a 35-yard return.
They had a problem of scoring points in the first quarter. Consider that problem solved today. Kyle Orton, 3 touchdown passes here in the first frame, including one to Noshawn Moreno. And then, how about the quick strike to Brandon Lloyd in the back of the end zone? No problem going up top. Excellent catch by Jabbar Gaffney, gives him a 21-point lead. Now, if you're Matt Castle, you don't have to try to get it all back in one possession. I think you go to the run game. The best thing you can do is play keep away from Kyle Orton in that Denver Bronco offense.
1st and 10, there's a sack. Coming in with a nice defensive play, Mario Hagan. That's a sack back to the 28, loss of 8 on the play.
Now the Broncos are playing what we call complementary football. The offense goes out, get a big lead. You know they're going to come out and try to throw the ball to play catch up. And so now if you're Don Martindale on the defensive coordinating side for the Broncos, what do? You dial up blitzes to get to the quarterback. This is where turnovers can really come back to bite you if you're Kansas City.
2nd down and 18, trying to go underneath the Chambers. A flag was thrown. The coverage by Joe Mays, one of the linebackers. I asked you this before. I'm going to ask you again. Does Kansas City alter their offensive game plan?
You see the alterations taking place in this possession. Where has it gotten them? A sack and a penalty.
Defense number 51 from the spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
It's Joe Mays, the linebacker.
And Mays helps him out because they had dug a hole. 2nd and long, you're looking at 3rd and long. Look at that. Don't hit him. The ball's coming to him. Play the ball once it's in the air if you're Mays. And now you create a new set of downs. I'd like to, if you're Kansas City and you're Charlie Weiss, why would you not go to the run game? Your best football players on offense is Thomas Jones and Jamal Charles. Allow the run game to work for you. Allow yourself to eat some time off the clock and keep Kyle Orton on the sideline.
Castle 1st and 10. It's on the money ball. Brought down on the play by 9-time Pro Bowler Champ Bailey. His first catch, gain of 18 on the play. And he takes Kansas City to the 50-yard line.
Well, they dial up yet another pass. The 3rd consecutive pass play called on this possession by Charlie Weiss. They go down the field to Dwayne Bowe. They do have some movement. I think the coverage for the Denver Broncos need to tighten up. Remember, they have a veteran group in that secondary. Matt Castle talked about it. He felt like it was the strength on their defense.
1st down and 10. Castle slings one downfield. Another Bowe catch. 35-yard line. Picks up 16. So the Chiefs are on the move. But Kyle Orton has thrown 3 Denver first quarter touchdown passes. At the end of one, the Broncos 21-0. Denver quarterback Kyle Orton has thrown 3 touchdown passes. Chiefs trying to combat first place Kansas City on top in the West by a half game over idle Oakland. Chargers are also idle. 2-6 Denver in last place, coming off a bye, and losers of 4 consecutive games have come out on offensive fire so far. But the Chiefs trying to get back here with this drive. Completions to Bo of 16, Salmon, and 18 yards brings them to the 34 of Denver.
Todd Haley quoted Bobby Knight when we talked to him last night. He says sometimes it's more about the team who makes the fewest mistakes. And, you know, he talked about wanting to play a clean, error-free game. I think it's hard to do it. When you're down 21-0, now you got to press it a little bit. You've got to really become more aggressive, and that's where the mistakes can come back to bite you.
1st and 10. Bo, he got it in. He was working on Bailey across the way at about the 27. Picks up 7 yards in the 3rd pass to Bo on this Kansas City drive.
Well, if the 30th ranked passing attack for the Kansas City Chiefs is ever going to come alive, now might be a good time to do it. Look at the tightrope, 2 feet down by Dwayne Bowe. So really good timing between Castle and his receiver, Dwayne Bowe.
Charles in the backfield, 2nd and 3. Big hit right there. Mike Cox out of Georgia Tech. No gain on the play. Joe Mays right there with the stick.
Last time Mays hit him before the ball arrived. This one, perfect timing. Wasn't much for a sound effect, but nonetheless, very effective.
That much, I like that. Because sometimes, I mean, our CBS microphones pick up incredible collisions.
Yeah, if you were to pick up what Todd Haley is saying right now, I could only imagine.
That's true. That is true. 3rd down and 3. Charles at the side of Castle. Marcus Thomas is chasing, and then finally brought down on the play. Hagan, the linebacker, the 2nd sack he's registered today. It's a loss of 7. Push him back to about the 34.
Well, he wanted to get Vernon Tucker, number 15, at the top of the screen on a wheel route. See, he's not there. And now once he has to pull it down, nothing on this side of the field is open, but you got to throw it away. You get outside the tackles, dump the football. You can ill afford to take a sack, and now you have to attempt a very long field goal, make it much more difficult for your kicker.
And into the win for Ryan Suckup. Holding Colquitt. Gafford with the snap. 52 yards. Wide right. Denver's defense. And they're still pitching a shutout.
And it goes back to the play where Matt Castle refused to throw the ball away. You take a sack there, makes it very difficult for Suckup to convert on the field goal attempt.
You make a good point on that sack. Knocked him 7 yards back and maybe a little bit more oomph on that 50-yard.
Yeah, well, he has to put a little bit more into it, and so while he had enough distance, it went wide right. But I contend if he was closer, it makes for an easier attempt.
Moreno on 1st and 10. Carr brings him down. Johnson brings him down. The run to the Kansas City 49, a burst of 9.
And Kevin, we said it before, give you 3 reasons why the Chiefs need to play perfect football. I think they have a young draft class that really has committed some contribution, but it's a tremendous learning curve, and then they have to play turnover-free football and avoid reckless penalties. 12 penalties for 100 yards in a loss last week to the Oakland Raiders, and Todd Haley talked about it, that we are still a team in transition. We're a very young team that has to play better.
Here's a 2nd down and 1. The hurdling Moreno. Belcher makes the stop. It's a 1st down to the Kansas City 38-yard line, a pickup of 11 yards, and the Broncos will move the chains.
Speaking of playing better, the Chiefs have to play better on defense. Right now, the Denver Broncos are taking it to them. It started with Kyle Orton and the passing game, and so they're giving so much respect to the passing attack of the Denver Broncos. They're not defending at the point of attack, and I think if you have to play 7 in the box, if you're the Broncos, you have to be able to run the ball. Look at Noshawn Marino's production compared to that of Jamal Charles.
Lance Ball called off the practice squad on 1st and 10. And Tyson Jackson among a couple, along with Johnson making the stop. It's a gain of 4. They're going to put him down to the 34. By the way, Washington is out as the safety who's taken the place of the injured McGraw. Washington is out, and Ricky Price, special teams guy, and now seeing a lot of time as a safety, is in there playing every down. So we'll find out if Washington got hurt. It's 2nd down and 6. Moreno back in. Ali got at the feet of the quarterback. That's a catch at the 24-yard line. It was made by Gaffney. Back there, Johnson and Berry, a gain of 9.
Boy, you love the play by Clady, the left tackle. He's able to chop Tamba Ali, who's on the ground on that play. That creates, I think, a nice throwing lane for Orton to get it to Jabbar Gaffney right here. Look at that. Underneath the linebacker, Derek Johnson. And Johnson had a phenomenal game in the season finale here in Denver at the end of last year. And that defense right now needs those kinds of plays.
It is a first down. End around Royal. Cooper with the lead block. And on the side, Flowers makes the stop. Gain of 1 earlier on a run just like that. Royal ran for 19. Flowers.
Yeah, teams don't like to run that end around reverse down inside the red zone. So what do? They call it right around the 25-yard line. Oh boy, Kansas City Chiefs. Look at the defense getting gashed today, giving up 250 yards, and we're just into the second quarter.
Chiefs have just reported to us nothing wrong with Washington. Price is just in there. Second down and 9. Nice little catch and run right here. Look at this. Demaryius Thomas out of bounds at the 22-yard play. And holding his backside, as you can see.
Yeah, watch number 35, Price, come up and try to make a tackle here. Now you got to be able to close up, wrap up. He bounces off you. Now he gets it down inside the 5-yard line, lands on the place that no one wants to land when you're propelled through the air. And now he's feeling it. But right there, you've got to be able to wrap up if you're Price. So no matter who they're putting in at that safety position, Kevin, the play has been less than stellar.
Looking at Demaryius Thomas, we told you earlier, he was the #1 pick out of Georgia Tech. Slowly getting up. All things working offensively right now for the Denver Broncos. They've got it 1st and goal at the Kansas City 1. Already today, Orton has thrown 3 touchdown passes as they assist Thomas to the side.
If you want to know what's going on, I mean, uncharacteristically, the Broncos are able to run the football.
Yes.
95 yards rushing so far in the game. And so Josh McDaniels has the balance he's been trying to achieve all season long. It took a bye week maybe to get it. It took this offensive line becoming more healthy. Sean Marino is also more healthy.
Berry is the only defensive back. 5 linebackers in. 1st and goal at the 1. Orton hit by Ali, and they go into the end zone. That is incomplete. Looked like they're going for the tight end Gronkowski. He had hit 9 consecutive passes.
And Kyle Orton very lucky, because an interception here would rob you of your momentum. I think he forces this ball into cover. Take a look at this one. Trying to go, it looked like, to Daniel Graham, but there's more red jerseys than there are orange. More than anything, he knows he's gotten away with a critical mistake. Tim Tebow now in the huddle. You think he's going to throw it? Most likely he's run it almost every single time, but I wouldn't be surprised if they would allow him to throw it.
He's got 2 rushing touchdowns already this season, and our officials will confer. 10-12 to play. We're in the second. Broncos burn their first timeout, leading 21-0. Broncos just took a timeout when they inserted rookie Tim Tebow. Chiefs are going to have 4 defensive linemen, and Ali will probably down in a 3-point stance. They got the 5 linebackers, and then the single defensive back is Eric Berry. So it'll be 2nd and goal at the 1. And Solomon, Tebow is in. Larson is ahead of him. Tebow. Wow, that was easy. That was too easy. Walking
in. Tebow does an excellent job of reading the defense. Watch the block down here, and then he gets outside. See, he reads the fact that they've already set the edge, and then he knows he has the speed and the ability to get it outside. Started with a great block from the tight end, Dan Graham.
Denver has scored every time they've had the ball. Now 28-0 with the kick by Prater. It's the number 1 pick. He just ran it in from a yard away. He walked in. 28-0, the Denver Broncos. Wharton with 3 touchdown passes. Tebow just had a 1-yard touchdown run. Chiefs have had it 3 times. 2 punts and a missed field goal from 52. You can only imagine what's being said on that Kansas City sideline.
Yeah, not much more to say right now.
Nope.
Just come out and play. Talking's not going to get it done. They know that, and they came in here and knocked the Broncos out of the playoffs at the end of the 09 season. They need that kind of performance from this point on.
Arenas will keep it back there. Charles, by the way, in that game last year was terrific. 259 rushing yards in that game. And tonight on CBS, the kingpin of Lucky Strike Bowling goes undercover. You can't miss an all-new Undercover Boss. It is tonight, and it's only on CBS. Chiefs will begin it with the touchback at their 21st down and 10.
Matt Castle's got his work cut out because we talked about sticking with the run game. Now you're down by 4 touchdowns. The game is on his shoulders. He's going to have to throw it and be very productive in order for them to win.
Thomas Jones is in the backfield on 1st and 10. Moiaki, the rookie out of Iowa, galloping into Bronco territory. And he is to the 46, working on Brian Dawkins' 34-yard catch and run.
Very common play in this offense. He starts him in motion, then he comes across the field. And we've seen them do this multiple times. In fact, it's worked so well, they keep going back to it. And the Denver Broncos might want to know where Moiaki is. They will come back to that play. Let's see if the Broncos can make an adjustment and play it better.
1st and 10. Tucker was jousting downfield with Parrish Cox, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. We talked about this just a second ago. Charles against this team.
Yeah, then the season finale, he came in here, rushed for 259 yards, a couple of touchdowns, broke the back of the Denver Broncos, knocked them out of the playoffs. Remember, if the Broncos had won that game, they would have finished in the postseason. But Jamal Charles, very explosive, catapulted him into, I think, a really good start this year. All the Chiefs point back to that game, saying what a boost it gave them during the offseason, allowed them to get off to that 3-0 start in 2010.
On 2nd down and 10. That's caught by Bo, whacked by Mays, 4-yard gain to the 43. And you felt that one. That was a jarring hit by Joe Mays out of North Dakota State.
Mays inserted into the starting lineup. Take a look at him. Bam. Nice timing. He's doing a really good job of reading and recognizing the combination routes. It's taking him right to the intended receiver. And if he can jump one just a 1/10 of a second sooner, he might find himself making a big play, getting an interception.
Charles is in 3rd and 6. Jamal Charles, good block by Noja. That's a 1st down dive. He's down to the 34. It's an 8-yard pickup and knocked down on the play by Darcel McBath.
And take a look at Jamal Charles. We told you at the top that he was good at getting to the edge, but here you see him getting to the middle. Excellent hole. So he's not afraid to run it up the gut. In fact, when you talk to the coaches for the Kansas City Chiefs, they feel like both he and Thomas Jones are interchangeable, that they both can run it inside as well as outside. Season average of 179 yards per game, only 18 yards rushing for Todd Haley's Kansas City Chiefs today.
Jones in now, 1st and 10. He's trying to give a block. And Marcus Thomas was the one to kind of knock him astray. It's a gain of a yard down to the 34. And the one thing that it does, Dawkins was in there as well. It doesn't tip off the defense who they're facing if it's a run or pass because, like you say, they're interchangeable parts.
Interchangeable. One guy doesn't tell you what specific play they're going to run or where on the field. Is it an inside run, an outside run? You see Jamal Charles coming to the huddle. You think he's going outside. Next thing you know, he's gashing you up the middle. He only needs one touch to take it to the house.
2nd and 10. He gets by Thomas. And he's put down by Jason Hunter. And the ball is free. They say it was down. is McBean off the defensive line, jumping on it, and it's going to be ruled down. Casting a flag thrown. Late flag goes down.
Take a look at this right here. Is he open? I think you got to get him the ball. Now, he slipped and fell down. It's probably why Matt Castle was forced to hold on to it. But when he holds on to the ball, bad things happen. We already told you him getting sacked once knocked him out of real good field goal range.
Loss of 4 as it stands right now. Maybe the 3rd sack, and let's see what the call is. Mike Carey worked Super Bowl 42.
After the ball was dead, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 51, 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, automatic, first down.
Joe Mays.
No, Mays likes hitting people.
Yes, he does.
Watch him come in right here. Okay, what are you going to do, Mays? No, Mays, don't do it. Right in front of the official. Well after the whistle has been blown and after the ball was ruled dead.
Chiefs have had it 3 previous times. This is their 4th possession. Big play on this drive, a 34-yard catch and run by the tight end, rookie Moiaki. 34 yards. Now Solomon at the 24. As you see, the sacks allowed recently and what they did protecting the quarterback the first 6 games
and some
of the year.
of that is Matt Castle just not getting rid of the football.
Sure, right.
Can't put it all on the offensive line, but critical possession here with a new set of downs for the Kansas City Chiefs on offense. Let's see as Matt Castle can get his team into the end zone.
Charles is in. It is a first down, and the Kansas City Chiefs at the 24 of the Denver Broncos. Kyle Orton has thrown 3 touchdown passes in the game. Chris Chambers, Joe Mays, tackle made at the 19, pick up a 4 as we pick up James Brown from New York.
Hey, Kevin and Solomon, it looked like the NFL was heading for its first overtime tie in almost 2 years today between the Jets and the Browns when Sanchez hooks up with Santonio Holmes, 37 yards to pay dirt. They win it with 16 left on the overtime clock. All right, and the Jets get it done. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
On 2nd and 6, it's a fumble. Charles was carrying. It's a 2-yard gain. He vacuumed in the ball, and they'll mark him at the 17-yard line. And right there with it, Jason Hunter. He was defending for Denver, former Packer and Detroit Lion.
Last week, Todd Haley was criticized a little bit for maybe not getting the ball enough to Jamal Charles. He did fumble the ball. But, you know, he doesn't have that kind of frame where I think he's built for an overwhelming workload. I think you got to be judicious with what you're going to allow him to do and how many times you're going to allow him to touch the ball during the course of a 4-quarter football game.
Dickerson had knocked it away. 3rd down and 4 for Matt Castle. Good time. Incomplete to Charles. Hit high, hit low. B.J. Williams is there. Mario Hagan, there's a flag at the 7-yard line.
Okay, ask yourself this. Was he a defenseless receiver? And did the defender lead with a helmet, shoulder, or forearm to the head of Jamal Charles?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 57, lays hit on the defenseless receiver. After this is to the goal, automatic.
You called it. Mario Hagan did it.
Take a look at it. You be the judge. We told you the rule. Okay, Williams, that's not the hit. See, there it is.
You better believe
he lunged. He left his feet. He led with the helmet. He made contact with the shoulder pad, but he really hit the defenseless receiver in the helmet. You cannot do it. It's an emphasis on the rule, but this is a rule that already had been on the books entering the 2010 season. And let's face it, everyone, Jamal Charles could have been seriously hurt on that hit.
It's 1st and goal at the 8. Hagan, a fumble. It's loose. And it's picked up on the play by Hunter, and there he goes with an entourage. He will go all the way for a Denver touchdown, 75 yards.
I'm not going to call it a dagger, but they have pulled out the sword, and they're in position. This is pressure by Hagan, and there you see it. 57 is able to get to Matt Castle. Ball comes out, and then they're able to scoop it up. And Hunter understands he's got a clear field. And they get more points on the board as a result of the lack of ball protection by Matt Castle.
Second consecutive week, the Chiefs have had a red zone turnover. Prater will make it 35-0. 35-0. 2:48 to play in the first half at Mile High. 35-0 moments ago. Jason Hunter, 75-yard fumble return for a touchdown. And that makes it a 35-0 game and 5:48 to play here in the second quarter. But Mario Hagan has had an incredible game with a couple of sacks. In fact, his third as he knocked down Castle, who coughed up the ball. And now the Chiefs will get it again.
Remember, Hagan is replacing Robert Ayers at the outside linebacker position. And Joe Mays has moved into his spot as a starter. So you're talking about some guys doing some different things, but still making a huge impact on today's game.
Javier Arenas on the Prater kickoff. And belts it out of bounds. Nice special teams play right there. It was a 15-yard return.
Defense has been the calling card, and mainly the linebackers for the Denver Broncos. DJ Williams getting in on the act. And how about Mario Hagan getting the sack and forced fumble? Hagan again, 4 sacks on Castle by the Denver Broncos today, and then Hunter is able to pick it up and run it in for a touchdown. So the linebackers really making huge plays, and they were really committed during this bye week, and you said the defense needed to improve, and boy, happened.
Here's Thomas Jones on first down and 10. Devoured. Hit by Marcus Thomas among the many on a gain of a yard. Let's go to James Brown in New York.
Kevin and Solomon, take a look at Dallas getting some inspired play here. Eli Manning back, picked off by Brian McCann, who's in for the injured Terrence Newman. He takes it 101 yards, longest in Cowboy history. To put the Cowboys up 16-3. Jason Garrett trying to take that interim tag off of the head coaching spot. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
It has been a volatile week for the Cowboys.
Oh, absolutely. Flat line on their playoff hole.
Charles is in, second down and 9, and in the secondary coming up with the stop on the play after a gain of 3 by Charles, and Joe Mays coming in right there with the stop. And coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report, James Brown, Dan, Jen, and Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for the latest news, scores, and highlights in a busy day in the NFL. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report from our studios in New York.
Kevin, all week you put together a game plan in terms of what you're going to do offensively. Todd Haley doesn't have a game plan for being down 35-0 in the second quarter.
Who does?
And no one does. No one makes preparation for that situation.
3rd and 6. He's got his receiver on the near side. That is Chambers. Hit on the play by Cox. It is a gain of 10. They'll get the first down. Mark him at the 31.
And nonetheless, you have to keep coaching. And what are the things you're coaching if you're Todd Haley for the Kansas City Chiefs? First, you got to tell your quarterback, Matt Castle, you have to speed up play. You can't take sacks, and you can't turn over the football. You've got to protect the football. He's doing a good job throwing the ball, but when he makes contact with these linebackers, he's not protecting and securing the football at all.
Charles on 1st and 10. A little congested inside. It's a gain of 3 and hit on the play by Ronald Fields among a couple. He's up to the 33-yard line.
You know, we talk about that mental clock for quarterbacks, understanding when the pocket is collapsing and pressure is closing in on you. He's got to speed up his mental clock and not get caught holding on to the football. When he rolls out, remember, if you're outside of that tackle box, you can just throw the ball away. No need to take a sack in those situations.
2nd down 7. Low, uncatchable, incomplete, looking for Copper. Coverage by DJ Williams. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Matt Castle a little bit out of sync at this point because I thought he had Dwayne Bowe on the comeback route. He gave up on that one, then tried to hurry the throw over the middle of the field. And sometimes the quarterback, if your footwork isn't correct, if you can't reposition yourself after coming off one receiver and coming to another, then the ball's going to be less than accurate. I thought that ball went into the dirt because he didn't have his footwork in correct fashion.
Asamoah now playing that left guard. Waters is out with a groin injury, came in with a shoulder injury. Here's a 3rd and 7. Castle on the money. That's a first down. Bo's had a big day so far, down to the 46-yard line. Dancing on the secondary, picks up 20 yards right there.
Much better fundamentals by Castle on this throw. Watch how he's able to step up and throw into it. And so just good footwork, a nice clean pocket, good vision to get the ball down the field to Dwayne Bowe. So when the pocket's clean, Matt Castle is making plays. When he's off schedule a little bit, you can take away that first or second intended receiver. He tends to be off his game here today.
Dawkins got him on the previous play. Here's a 1st and 10 from the Denver 46. Charles was in, going deep, looking for Tucker. Another great catch. He had one last week in Denver. Comes up with a beauty right there. He's working on Cox. It's a 37-yard strike. The Chiefs will have it at the 9.
Now watch Castle. See, he hits the 5-step drop, ball out on time. And when he can throw it in rhythm like that, he has great ball placement down the field. And what an even better catch right there by Tucker. We saw him do it last week. And boy, he's a speeder. He beats Cox on that one and is able to haul it in. So the offense is on the move. Ball protection, priority number 1. Getting the touchdown is secondary.
He was signed off the practice squad, was Tucker, back on October 23rd. After the 37-yard completion, we're at the 2-minute warning in Denver. Well, our guys in the truck have dug this out. They were the Dallas Texans back when this happened in 1960. This is, the Kansas City Chiefs were the Dallas Texans, and in the history of this franchise, this is the most they've given up in the first half. Also, the Chiefs have given off points off a turnover for the first time this year, and a fumble by Castle returns 75 yards. So the offense of the Broncos has scored 3 Orton touchdown passes. Now Kansas City at the 8, 1st and goal. Charles. He's down to about the 5-yard line goes Jamal. Brought down by Darian Hagan, who's got 3 sacks today. It's a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, we talk about Matt Castle making better decisions with the football. He's been sacked 4 times today, and 3 times he's been sacked. This is that old Statue of Liberty play. Fooled no one, by the way. But he's been sacked 3 times today inside the red zone.
2nd goal at the 5, dumping it off to Charles. Hold the ball. He does. He's in for the touchdown. 5-yard touchdown pass by Castle. Did you think they're going to do an end around there with Copper? It almost had that feel to it. Then the rush came on and kind of blocked the door.
And Don Martindale's defense wasn't fooled. They didn't think it was an end around. They came with full, what we call max pressure on Matt Castle. Now watch how many orange jerseys are just sold out to get to the quarterback. And he's able to get rid of the ball. He was smart not to take the sack. You've got to be able to get rid of it when you understand pressure is coming your way.
You almost get nervous when Charles holds the ball with that one hand. 9 plays, touchdown for Kansas City. The shutout is gone. And they put it through on Suckup's extra point. So it's 35-7. 1:28 to play here in the first half. Charles catches and runs from 5.
We talk about Matt Castle not taking sacks. Boy, get rid of the ball, but he still gets hit. And you have to wonder if Hagan rolled up that ankle, Matt Castle comes up limping on the play. We talk about his footwork needing to be a vitally important part of what he does to have balance and throwing accuracy. So he's going to need to stay healthy in this game. 4 sacks, 7 times he's been hurried and been knocked down a whole lot in this game today. That white jersey's not so clean.
I still contend there may have been a thought of an end around right there, but luckily Charles is open.
I'll tell you, the end around is meant to really lure defenders out of the area so that when you dump it off to Charles, he has a clear path to the end zone.
Good point. And Demaryius Thomas is back for the Denver Broncos as they prepare to get this kickoff from Ryan Suckup. Just before halftime, and here is the boot. And Thomas, 4 yards deep, he'll take it out. And brought down, Studebaker got him. 31-yard return. And they'll spot him at the 27-yard line. Coming up in the Sprint halftime report from our CBS studios in New York, join James Brown with Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason, and Coach Bill Cowher All the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's next on the Sprint Halftime Report. Boomer and I will be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow night for the Monday night game. The Eagles with Michael Vick against Andy McNabb and the Redskins. One of many interesting games this week. 1st and 10 from the 27. Eddie Royal. And out there, brought down by Ali. It is a gain of 8 on the catch and run to the 34-yard line.
Denver Broncos first half, the last time they were home, week 7 against the Oakland Raiders, only scored 7 points, 35 today, and gave up 38 points in the first half against the Raiders in that game, and only allowing 7 points so far. And you can see the comparison between that week 7 contest against the Raiders in terms of rushing yards compared to today. And Josh McDaniel is able to turn his team around using the bye week at a vitally important time in the schedule. Came perfectly after their first 8 games. And he understood the corrective measures he needed to take to get his football team headed in the right direction. And now I think the second half is going to be a testament to see how well they can close out a ball game.
And there's no doubt they put a lot of this is like the linchpin game of their season.
Well, no doubt about it. Within the division against Todd Haley. Remember, the 2 coordinators for the Kansas City Chiefs used to work with Josh McDaniels in New England.
Buckhalter is in the backfield on 2nd down and 2. Looking on the near side for Lloyd, and the coverage on the play by Brandon Carr. 3rd and 2.
Now we talked to Josh McDaniel about Charlie Weiss, his former mentor, the offense coordinator currently for the Kansas City Chiefs, served in that same role in New England while Josh McDaniel was running around getting everyone coffee. And then, of course, Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator with the Chiefs, formerly served in that same role in New England. He says, they don't know what I'm thinking, because when we were in New England, I spent more time listening to them than they spent listening to me. He wasn't allowed to talk.
6 defensive backs for the Chiefs. Washington is back out there. Timeout taken by Denver. They burn their second. So it'll be 3rd and 2 for Kyle Orton as you look at Crennel on the left and Haley, the head coach of the Chiefs. So next Sunday, the NFL on CBS. We'll double up first. The Texans will take on the Jets. Raiders will battle the Steelers. Then the rivalry is renewed. Peyton Manning and the Colts, Tom Brady and the Patriots, all beginning with the NFL today at 12 noon Eastern Time on this same CBS station. That will be a beauty next week. 3rd down and 2.
And it's only the second time the Broncos offense has faced a 3rd down here today. That's just how efficient they have been on 1st and 2nd down.
Buckholder remains. 6 in the Kansas City secondary. 3rd down and 2. On the money, Eddie Royal, grabbed by Arenas. The gain to the 39. He picks up a 1st down and a pickup of 4.
Boy, Javier Arenas is right in his hip pocket. Just the very accurate throw by Kyle Orton, where Arenas couldn't make a play on the ball.
Orton 13 of 18 today, 189. 3 touchdowns. 1st and 10. He found a very nice window right there. Gets it to Lloyd. Flowers with the grab. 14-yard catch to the Kansas City 47. Berry was there as well. It is a 1st down.
Incredible numbers also by Brandon Lloyd in the first 8 games. We talked with him, and he had high things to say about Kyle Orton. Orton already over 200 yards passing in the first half. And Orton said that Brandon Lloyd is as good of a receiver as any that he has played against. He's played now, this is his 3rd season with Lloyd. They played together in Chicago and now here in Denver. And he said there's nothing he can't do on a football field. And I asked Brandon Lloyd, I said, well, why haven't we seen these numbers from you in the past? He says, the offense was never designed to get me the ball, any place that I've ever been. And he said, and even now, this offense isn't designed to get the ball to me. He said, this offense is designed to get it to the open receiver. And so I come into a game with no expectations. I work hard to get open, and Kyle Orton will get me the football.
First and 10. Buckhalter goes and joins Orton in the backfield. Into the dime of Kansas City. Here comes Ali. Nicely moving up is Orton. Look at him navigate. And a little shuffle pass, and it's caught at the 40-yard line by Buckhalter. He's brought down by Studebaker. That's a 7-yard reception down to the Kansas City 40.
15 to 20.
No timeout, so clock the ball right there.
And that counts as an incompletion. That's the only way the ball hits the ground when Kyle Orton's playing quarterback. He's been highly efficient to that.
You know, people were talking when they made the trade, Cutler going to Chicago and Orton coming to Denver. Josh McDaniels, before they pulled the trigger, watched 32 complete games of Orton with the Bears, and he felt very comfortable making that trade.
You know, he went to Purdue. He succeeded Drew Brees in that offense, coached by Joe Tiller. At Purdue, it was a pro-style passing attack. I thought Kyle Orton came into this league ready to play, and now that he can read defense, you can see him operating at a very high level.
3rd down and 3. And it was knocked away by Carr. The coverage was on Jabbar Gaffney, who's got a beautiful diving touchdown pass earlier in the game.
I know the crowd is excited. It's just good coverage. Gaffney fought to get back inside but couldn't find the football. And so you see him inside, he can't find it. And Carr is clearly playing the ball with one arm up, trying to bat it down.
Well, as a former defensive back, you're always talking about contact and the hand-to-hand combat that goes on.
Within 5 yards. You can make contact with a receiver within 5 yards, and you can touch him down the field. You just can't obstruct his ability to make a play on the ball.
58-yard try, career long, came this year from 59 in the thin air, and he'll be short. And it's caught. This is Berry. He can return, and you can see a seam. And there goes the rookie Eric Berry, getting a block, getting by the kicker. Oh, who may have tripped him up at the last second. And then we've got a tackle made by the Broncos, J.D. Walton. 82-yard return.
And now let's see if they say time has expired.
Please. Thank you.
They may put 1 second back on the clock.
Which means the Kansas City Chiefs will be able to line up and attempt a field goal. Looks like they are.
What a
play by Berry.
Yeah, heads-up play.
Smart head-up play by the rookie. And here's the deal. Mostly linemen are on the field, the slow guys. Okay?
True.
On the kickoff unit, or I should say field goal unit. And look, if he's a little patient there and work his way back to the sideline, I think he's going to score a touchdown.
Britton Colquitt was the one to trip him up. Now here is a try by Suckup from 40 yards away into the wing. Another 3. It is 35-10. So the Chiefs have now kind of made this a little bit interesting, much to the delight of Coach Todd Haley. His team was down 35-0. They were stoned by the Broncos. They come back with 10 unanswered to finish off the first half. You're watching the NFL on CBS. All Denver in the first half. Kansas City showed a little life there at the end of the first half. What do you think for the second half?
Well, down by 25 points. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, all comebacks begin with creating turnovers. So the defense for the Kansas City Chiefs have to make an impact here in the second half.
Let's get your points of protection now, brought to us by Allstate.
I think first of all, you're the Kansas City Chiefs. Got to do a better job of protecting your quarterback, Matt Castle. Sacked 4 times in the first half. And then I think the Denver Broncos, they just got to keep it coming. They were able to bring on an avalanche of points in the first half, have to do the same in the second half. And then more than anything, protect the lead. 10 points allowed, 10 unanswered points by the Kansas City Chiefs to end the first half.
If Denver would go on to win this game, they would be just 2 games back of first place Kansas City, and by virtue of last week's win, first place Oakland, idle today. Javier Arenas is deep back for the Kansas City Chiefs. And our second half is underway. He'll leave it in the end zone. Here comes Matt Castle and his offense, but they had to be a little bit shell-shocked, and you can see his numbers so far. That touchdown pass was good for 5 yards to Charles with a catch and run. And then right before halftime, on a long field goal try by Denver, Eric Berry returned it 82 yards, which set up a field goal, 40 yards by second. So here we go, starting the second half. Charles in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Here comes the rush from outside, and it's incomplete, looking for Charles, and they were sending Jason Hunter, who recovered a fumble and raced 75 yards back in the first half for a touchdown for the Broncos.
And the Chiefs want to do a better job of isolating Jamal Charles on one of those linebackers like Hunter in space, where they feel that Jamal Charles can catch the ball in space and create a big play, creating yards after the catch, maybe turning that 5-yard catch into a 50-yard run.
Asamoah still taking the place of Brian Waters, groin injury at that left guard. 2nd down and 10. This is Charles. And not a whole lot there. On him was DJ Williams. Stopped there by Joe Mays. Gain of 5 to the 24 as you take a look at the first half possessions for the Chiefs. And you can see they score in their last 2 possessions. After beginning 5 plays punting, 3 plays punting. 3rd down and 5 into the nickel. Castle whistles over the head of Copper. Coverage on the play by Nate Jones. 3 and out. Kansas City's going to punt.
And vitally important, I think, missed opportunity for the Kansas City Chiefs. We talked about the 10 unanswered points to end the first half. They have the ball on the first possession. I'm sure Todd Haley told his team at halftime, we get the ball. This is a huge, important time to try to seize momentum in the ball game. If you can go down the field, put 7 more points and turn it into 17 unanswered points, and now you're in play. And it's about robbing the momentum that the Denver Broncos have been able to capture in the early portion of the game.
Dustin Colquitt will send it down to Eddie Royer from the 31-yard line. Brought down by Jackie Battle at about the 39. With an 8-yard return, a 44-yard punt. Here comes Kyle Orton with a terrific first half in his pocket. Well, you see the 35 points, touchdown passes to Moreno and to Lloyd, and 40 yards to Gaffney. They got a 1-yard touchdown run by Tebow. 75-yard fumble return for a touchdown by Hunter. Kansas City 3 and out, 1st and 10. Orton right to work. Lloyd can't hang on to it, and Flowers is there. 2nd down and 10.
And this Denver Broncos offense would like to begin the second half as they did in the first half, going right down the field on their first possession. Touchdown pass from Orton to Noshawn Moreno. The first time they scored on their first possession all season long. Came back on the touchdown strike to Brandon Lloyd. Then up top to Jabbar Gaffney. Tim Tebow was able to get it in that wildcat formation, running it in. This offense exploded for 35 points in that first half.
2nd down and 10. Noshawn Moreno. And he picks up 4, working his way to the 43-yard line. And Derek Johnson was at the bottom of that pile, making the stop. He's been carrying the ball, has Moreno, over the last 3 games, basically nonstop for this Denver team.
And he's beginning to become a more healthy ball carrier, already eclipsing their per-game average. 100 yards rushing so far in the game. Came into today's game ranked dead last with 67 yards rushing the game. Huge help for the quarterback, Kyle Orton.
Kansas City with 6 defensive backs, 3rd and 6. This is Moreno, and he's got blockers ahead. An entourage. Ryan Harris, the right tackle, with the block. And then Derek Johnson brings him down hard. A 23-yard catch and run to the Kansas City 33.
Wow, take a look at this. The way they were able to get around the corner. And watch number 74. And watch him at the right tackle position, and he's just going to be able to get around the edge and see they set the edge. Look how many orange jerseys are out there and no one to contain the ball for the Kansas City Chiefs. So they get outflanked. They're able to get Moreno to the second level. Ryan Harris, 74, leading the way.
Lance Ball has come in, and he gets the call here on 1st and 10. Wrapped up. Dorsey makes the stop, a gain of 4 to the Kansas City 29.
Right now, this Denver Broncos offense is off to a roll, picking up where they left off in the early portions of the first half. And just a good mix of run and pass. We've seen 4 plays so far on this drive. 2 are run, 2 are pass plays. And Josh McDaniels right now has his offense in sync, in rhythm. Between the run and pass, they're virtually unstoppable. And you can see his career in the AFC West has not been too good when they played at home.
2nd down and 6, ball remains. strike. Good throw. Lloyd. Hit on the play by Berry. 8-yard gain. Brandon Lloyd from Blue Springs, Missouri. That's just a suburb of Kansas City and close to the Truman Sports Complex.
Brandon Lloyd has given a lot of credit, he said, to Josh McDaniels for having a plan and to Kyle Orton for the execution. It's the reason why he's putting up eye-popping numbers, just incredible numbers at the wide receiver position in terms of catches and receiving yards.
Plus, he's been healthy.
Yeah, he's healthy.
Yeah.
The Chiefs know that all too well.
1st and 10. Oh, nice change of direction there by Moreno. Brought down on the play by Johnson. Belcher was there assisting. It's a gain of 3. Down to the 17. You know, you build up that big lead in the locker room. How do you keep your team? How does McDaniels keep his Broncos engaged in the second half?
I think you remind them of the last time they were at home against the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders poured it on the first half, then put more on the board in the second half. They had given up 59 points. And Justin Bannon said it was one of the most embarrassing games, a very humiliating performance. You remind them of moments like that, I think they tend to kick it into overdrive.
Well, there were 4 in the secondary looking outside, and Thomas was in the sights on that 2nd and 7. Now 3rd down and 7. Orton came into today number 3 in passing yards in the NFL.
Oh, sometimes they'll just check to this at the line of scrimmage, trying to get it to the rookie Demario Thomas. The ball thrown a little bit behind him. You have to wonder if he was able to get the check at the line of scrimmage.
Demarius Thomas covered on that previous play by Brandon Carr. Chiefs have 2 third-year cornerbacks. Here's a 3rd and 7. Buckhalter was in the game. Outside for Royal. He's got a seam, a block by Walton. Price makes maybe a touchdown-saving tackle at the 5. It's a gain of 13 on the catch and run. A 1st and goal coming up for the Broncos.
Kevin, when you don't have a running game, this is like a running play. It's an extended handoff to the slot receiver, Eddie Royal, who knows what to do with the football once he gets it into his hand. See how he cut behind that block by Ryan Clady? He knows where the soft spots of the zones are and still able to get beyond the 1st down marker. You can tell he wanted more. He wanted a touchdown.
So on this drive, a catch and run of 23 yards by Moreno. A 13-yard catch and run right there. And now it is 1st and goal at the 6. Gain of 3 as they were trying to chip away at that Kansas City front. The run by Moreno, Sean Moreno, who led all rookie running backs in yards a season ago. Tebow is going to come in. Well, they get excited when he goes on the field. How the cheers come cascading down.
And you know what? I think he has 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns. At some point, he's going to throw it.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, you can sell out for the run, but you better be aware.
2nd and goal.
There you go.
Here he goes. His first career touchdown pass. It is caught. Larson was covered by Belcher. A 3-yard touchdown pass, the first in the NFL career of Tim Tebow.
The key to playing in the National Football League, you have to have a high football IQ. And when receivers release off the line of scrimmage, okay, and they're running down the field, someone is going to throw them the ball. When they release down the field, it's not a run play. It usually signifies that it's a pass play. His first career touchdown pass for Tim Tebow.
Now Prater with the extra point, 9:24 to play here in the 3rd, and what has been a nightmare for the Chiefs, 42-10. Denver handing it to first place Kansas City. Larson just getting inside the pylon. Well, the Broncos have been as steady as a rock today. Tebow has scored 2 touchdowns on the ground and throwing moments ago his first NFL touchdown pass. Orton has thrown 3 touchdown passes, and here is the ensuing kickoff and a couple yards deep. 2nd round pick out of Alabama, Arenas Decker will bring him down. He's a young receiver they think has a great deal of promise. Eric Decker out of Minnesota. So a big catch, a good run, and a touchdown pass by Tebow. Look at Todd Haley, who cut his teeth under Bill Parcells with the Jets and the Dallas Cowboys. 2nd year as the... What do you think he's saying there? He's tilting head back and forth. First, yeah, someone's getting ripped. 1st and 10 from the 16. Castle, incomplete, thrown in back of Bo. Coverage on the play, James Brown by Champ Bailey as we swing it to you in New York.
Kevin and Solly, Dallas playing with some inspiration. Take a look at John Kitna on 3rd and 10, hooking up with Felix Jones. And what does he do? He motors 71 yards to pay dirt. Cowboys up by 20, that in the 3rd. Wow, Kevin and Solomon.
Well, Jerry Jones said he's going to put Garrett like he's going to test drive him as a head coach.
And Garrett just has to motivate the team. The will to win is the beginning of improvement.
Here's a 2nd and 10 pass caught by Charles. Whacked down the play. Brian Dawkins lost his hat. Pickup of 16 yards. A catch and run to the 31.
This is what they want from Jamal Charles. You're asking why can't he get more carries? Get him in space where he can make one defender miss as opposed to having to break the line of scrimmage. Still takes a lick from Brian Dawkins. Boy, Charles, you know, he's not a real big guy. And I think the importance has to be on how can you get him to really be healthy as you enter late November into December.
1st and 10. Charles may have heard the footsteps of DJ Williams, a hobbling Castle. Well, coming into today, it was a slim half-game lead for the Chiefs over the idle Oakland Raiders. If the Chiefs would lose, they and the Raiders tied for 1st, menacing San Diego, and they are red hot and looking upward. They always finish seasons strong. And Denver would become relevant again at 3-6 should they go on to win.
And the Broncos next week on the road at San Diego become relevant within the AFC West division. And boy, all 4 teams looking at a shot at winning it. So huge game for the Broncos today.
2nd and 10, Bo. Bailey with the tackle, 40-yard line. That's a catch of 8 and shy of a 1st down by about 1.5 yards. And there's some interesting dates in this division upcoming.
Yeah, key dates. Oakland, a game at San Diego. They beat San Diego earlier this year, and Kansas City has to go to San Diego in December. Remember, they've already beaten San Diego, so San Diego get both those teams at home, so they still have a shot.
Charles up into a 3rd and 2 and hit on the play by Justin Bannon.
And isn't it maybe right that the road to this division goes through San Diego? Remember, they've won 4 consecutive division titles. That's the team really everyone is shooting for right now. If you're Justin Bannon and the Denver Broncos, you have the Kansas City Chiefs in your crosshairs, understanding that San Diego is coming up next.
They give Charles the 1st down. Bo. And right in front of Champ Bailey, it's a 1st down catch. He's down to the 44 of Denver. That's a pickup of 14 yards, and you can tell the secondary, numbering 5, playing a little bit back and giving some cushion.
Don't want to give up the big play. At the end of the day, you don't want to allow them to just work their way down the field, continue to pick up a new set of downs, as Dwayne Bowe is able to do there, getting beyond the 1st down marker. But sooner or later, as a defense, you've got to make a stand.
Thomas Jones is set in. Castle surveys the nickel. 1st and 10. Batted down. Oh, coming right in his grill, Kevin Dickerson. He's been inactive last couple of games with some injuries.
Dickerson getting into the face of the quarterback. We told you that Matt Castle needs a clean pocket. Josh McDaniel is the one who tutored and groomed Matt Castle in New England. No one knows him better than Josh McDaniel. He told us that we want to get pressure in the face of the quarterback. You see Dickerson providing that same kind of pressure on that play.
2nd down and 10. Jones, who's got some room to roam, has the 1st down. And then kind of forced out of bounds across the way with one of the hands on him, Nate Jones. A 17-yard catch and run. They'll spot him at the 25.
Interesting observation. I know the Kansas City Chiefs told us they want to get the ball in space to Jamal Charles in the passing game. For my money, Thomas Jones has shown that he's a better catcher of the ball coming out of the backfield. We've seen Jamal Charles drop several passes, did that last week against Oakland. Thomas Jones is going to catch it.
1st and 10 for Castle. Great catch by Bo! Down to the 2. Drilled by Bailey. 1st and goal. That was a terrific 23-yard reception by Dwayne Bowe.
And Bowe gives up his body, gets skinny on the post, makes the catch. He eludes one defender, but watch this hit by Bailey. Ball comes out, And while he's halfway unconscious, he still hauls the ball back in with his right hand.
The challenge flag has been thrown out there by Josh McDaniels. Would have been first and goal at the 2. Bo trying to hold on.
Was the ball dislodged upon contact by Champ Bailey? I'm sure that's what Josh McDaniel wants to look at.
How about the Chiefs? A year ago, they had 49 drops. That was 2 away from an NFL season record. Bo guilty of a lot of them. They've only had 12 drops coming in to today.
The ruling on the field is a catch for a first down is being challenged by Denver. Timeout.
And Bo dropped a pass in the fourth quarter last week. Good throw by Castle that could have ended the ball game. Let's see if that is a strip by Champ Bailey. Welcome back. We hope the officials have an opportunity to really look at it. Of course, the replay machine wasn't working earlier in the game. We had problems with it, some technical difficulties, and hopefully Mr. Carey has had a chance to review it, because I think this call is going to be upheld on the field.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. A catch, fumble, recovered by Kansas City, first down.
Denver loses a timeout.
Oh, excellent call, because there's the catch, and then a football move by Bo. He's hit and stripped. There is the fumble caused by Bailey, but then look, he recovers it. Halfway unconscious with Bailey on his chest, he's still able to pull the ball back in after the fumble was caused. Bo was able to reel it back in. Great play by Bo.
And a good throw by Cancel, who now has it first and goal at the 1 with Jones in the backfield. Thomas Jones trying to corkscrew his way in. No signal. He is shy.
Wow. Is he tough or what?
Yes.
Thomas Jones will stop well short of the goal line, but they can't get him down. And watch that extra spin move, even after contact there. And then he comes down just a little bit shy of breaking the plane of the goal line. Why wouldn't you leave him in and give him another shot? Because he's hard to tackle. And when you talk to the Kansas City Chiefs, there is not a harder worker and a tougher runner than Thomas Jones.
And it's contagious.
And time is of the essence. I mean, if you're Kansas City, you've got to be prepared. You've got to be ready. If you're going to mount a comeback, you're going to need every precious second on the clock.
We talked to Matt Castle last night as the Chiefs have taken a timeout. Ronaldo Hill, by the way, had the tackle on that last play. And he and Todd Haley told us something interesting last night. He had been so ingrained in the Patriot way of doing things that he admitted to his coach in practice this week that, you know what, I begin to see now there are different ways to do different things in this league.
Exactly what he said. I've opened my eyes and my mind, and I know that success comes in different ways. And he said that Todd Haley has been able to pull back the curtain a little bit and peel some layers off the game, where now I see maybe a deeper way of how to go about getting things done. So he's able to blend that Patriot way that you talked about. He had watched Tom Brady for 4 years, had learned from Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and now he says, you know what, I have other ways of going out and trying to win ball games, and he faces his toughest test since becoming the starter of the Kansas City Chiefs.
They changed that to an injury timeout. It was not a Kansas City timeout. Here is a second down and goal at the 1 with Jones in the backfield. Castle on the quarterback keeper. Rugby strike. Look at that.
See, they were going to allow, that's why they didn't blow the whistle. They were going to allow forward momentum. They were going to allow him to fall. But give credit to Justin Bannon and the defensive lineman up front for the Denver Broncos. Watch how they keep pushing. And now Castle's just suspended, still trying to inch forward. But they won't blow the whistle because no forward progress has been made. And now he falls down sideways. Give credit to all the guys on that front line for the Denver Broncos. Jamal Williams, Kevin Vickerson, really hard fighting in the trenches.
Third and goal at the 1. Chiefs 0-7 on their last 31s. For Bo, coverage by Bailey. No flag, 4th and goal.
Here's the deal. We know this about Todd Haley. 4-down territory. He's already let them know we got 4 cracks at it, not just 3rd down and then a field goal. With the score being what it is, they will go for it.
and it's something the offense likes to hear.
Well, they should be motivated that the coach has that kind of confidence in them. Absolutely. When we talk to him, he says that all the guys in the huddle, their eyes light up. And I think given what the score is, you got to say, hey, I'm going to put it on my offensive line. You guys go out and make a play. Help us to get back into this game.
Jackie Battle and Cox. Battle. 4th and goal. He did not get in. A goal line stand by the Denver Broncos. A flag has been thrown across the way at the 3. A flag is down.
Illegal shift. Offense is declining. First down. Timeout.
The Denver Broncos came in ranked 31st in the National Football League in run defense, second to last. But the goal line stand starts up front. They improved over the bye week, proof positive.
Chiefs had some red zone problems last week against the Raiders as well.
You can see they continue today. Fumble inside the red zone, then a loss on downs. Not able to get it in on the quarterback sneak by Matt Castle. Then Battles comes in and clearly was stopped short of the goal line. How about the defense making a play for Kansas City? In Denver, you have to be aware of that and protect the football.
Maroon did his 1. Orton first down and 10. Going for Lloyd. Almost picked off by Brandon Carr. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 to New York and James Brown.
Kevin and Solomon, the tie in San Francisco has been broken. Handoff there to Steven Jackson of the Rams. The running back takes a 13 yards to pay dirt. That capped a 7-play, 64-yard drive. 17-10. St. Louis on top. Kevin and Solly.
Remember, the Rams played the 49ers twice last season, did not score an offensive touchdown against the Niners a season ago.
I think in the way that Bradford's playing at quarterback, what about the Rams going from worst to first inside of that division?
2nd down and 10. This is Noshan Marino. Tumbling ahead, brought down by Johnson. Gain of 6 on the play and a little bit of breathing space out to the 7-yard line.
So the Denver Broncos came in as one of the worst rushing teams in the league and one of the worst run defenses in the National Football League. But they've run it well with Noshan Marino. We already showed you the goal line stands by the defense. So the areas of improvement for the football team during the bye week have been significant. And look at their ability to run the ball today. 83 yards rushing so far for Noshan Marino.
3rd and a short 4. Johnson just about had it. They were going for Lloyd. He's had a couple that have gone right through his hands this season. Incomplete. They got a punt due to the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
This is their first punt of the game.
Last year in that season finale, we talked about it. He knocked the Broncos out of the playoffs all by himself. Look at this. You catch this when you're walking into the end zone as he did in that game a year ago where he had 2 picks of Kyle Orton and became only the 3rd linebacker in NFL history to have 2 picks returned for a touchdown in the same game.
Here is Britton Colquitt, the younger brother of Kansas City punter Dustin Colquitt. Arenas, 46, hang time under 4 seconds. Javier Arenas down to the 38-yard line. That's a 16-yard return. And the Chiefs will have some very good field position as Matt Castle comes back out onto the field. And today, 17 of 27, 250 yards with a touchdown pass in his resume. So the Chiefs, who lost last week in Oakland after winning the previous week in overtime to Buffalo in Kansas City, on the road again against a division foe. It's been very difficult this afternoon, down initially 35-0. First and 10 handoff goes to Charles. Tries to dig his way, and there just is not a lot there. Nate Jones right there, loss of a yard, back to the 39. And some of the numbers here in Denver this afternoon.
Kevin, I thought Justin Bannon, defensive lineman for the Denver Broncos, put it best. He said, the bye week came at a right time. It allowed us to refresh our mind, and now we can start the season over. And boy, are they starting the second half of the season in fine fashion.
2nd down and 11. And going deep, looking for Chambers, and the coverage on the play by the rookie Parrish Cox. So it'll be 3rd and 11. Well, there's no doubt that the message was delivered by the Denver coaching staff. This game is our season. We lose, that's our 7th loss. Our season may, just realistically may be out of reach.
Well, and Bannon said it. He said the focus was right here, right now. And I think that was to a man the message sent by Josh McDaniel. And that's why they were really disheartened by the distraction caused by DJ Williams in the early wee hours of Friday morning. But the fact that they were still able to play well despite those distractions, I think is very impressive.
There's a 3rd and 11. Jamal Charles looking for a block from Tucker. Has the first down. Dancing, and you see him down to the 16-yard line. It's a catch and run. Dawkins brings him down. 23-yard catch and run to the 15. First down.
It took him a while. You see Charles going out in space. Now, once he catches it out there, nearly falls down, hard to get him on the ground. Hard to corral him with the explosive abilities that he has. Once he gets into space, and Josh McDaniel talked about his ability to create yards after the catch, and you could see his production on the day. 77 total yards. They really do expect more in terms of ability to run it and catch it.
In the red zone again, which has been troublesome the last couple of weeks from the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Jones is in. Offers a block. That's Bowe, and he's got the touchdown. Dwayne Bowe with the touchdown reception of 15 yards. He has now caught a touchdown pass in 5 consecutive games. And the Chiefs, they beat Williams on the play, get the strike from Castle.
Oh, Dwayne Bowe, he's a big body, and he has to be a presence down inside the red zone. You make these kind of plays in front of Champ Bailey, that's putting in work. And Bailey takes a poor angle, and Ryan Dawkins is not able to get him on the ground. So you beat 2 defensive players, veteran players like Bailey and Dawkins, well, you're doing something.
Bowe, 9 catches, 127 yards on the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. And a touchdown reception right there. And the Chiefs have scored again. Career high 8th touchdown reception. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS. Manning, Brady, the rivalry. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. 4:15 must-see TV next week right here on CBS. 4 plays, touchdown. And the Chiefs trail 42-17. And not quitting, not giving up. Body language is good. They continue to work out of their problems.
And it starts with players like Dwayne Bowe and Matt Castle. And, they've expected a lot from Bowe since he was a first-round pick out of LSU. He's starting to deliver. It's his 7th game of 100 yards receiving. And the key is that he now has a new career high in terms of touchdowns in a single season. I believe that was his 8th touchdown. And you talked about the consecutive games where he's been able to find the end zone. And so Matt Castle, while he sits very calmly on the sideline, he understands I need possessions. I need to have the ball. And so that starts with the defense getting turnovers, creating a short field for Matt Castle if they're going to be able to talk about a comeback.
So Charles has caught a touchdown pass. Bowe just lassoed one right there. 2 thrown by the quarterback Castle today. Could we see an onside kick here? Is it too early? Is it the right time for something like that?
I don't think it's ever too early, and certainly the surprise element would be right now.
Demaryius Thomas will bring it out. This time we saw him, he had a backside injury. He springs him down, hits him straight up. Studebaker is down at the 30 and slow to get up. 39-yard kickoff return. Let's go back to our studios and James Brown.
Hey, Kevin, after a power outage suspended play at the New Meadowlands for 12 minutes, the Giants come back, cap an 8-play, 58-yard drive. Eli Manning to Mario Manningham. That draws them to within 13 of Dallas. 8:19 left in the 3rd. Kevin and Solomon.
When they first met down in Monday night down in Dallas, it was a big Dallas lead. Giants came back and got a win. That was the game Romo went down for the year.
Giants knocked out 5 quarterbacks out of games so far this year.
Sean Moreno on 1st and 10. Breaking some tackles, and Belcher finally jumps on his back close to a first down. Gain of 9. He's up to the 43-yard line for the Denver Broncos. Moreno's had a nice day. 93 yards on the ground. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, the first living soldier to earn the Medal of Honor since Vietnam. Plus, could the answer to our energy problems be right under our nose? Find out tonight on 60 Minutes, only on CBS. It is 2nd down and 1 from the 44. Moreno by Beatles, and the Chiefs stack him up right there. You saw Holly jump on the back, but really a good-looking stop by Belcher. 3rd down and 1.
Well, if you're the Denver Broncos and you want to put an end to this talk of a comeback by the Kansas City Chiefs in this ball game, I think it starts with the ability to run the football. It chews time off the clock. It keeps the ball out of the air, and you tell your runners, hold on to the ball. If you don't fumble it, then we can salt this game away, and we can finish it off pounding the running game.
3rd down and 1. Larson into the secondary, 1st down. Brought down on the play after a nice game. Price got him. 14-yard run by Spencer Larson.
This is a statement run by Larson.
It is.
Watch it.
Right.
Block down. Now go get him. And look at it. Breaking tackles. Running over safeties. Wow. That is a statement. That's how you close out a ball game. Give it to the big guy and let him rumble. And you have to make people not want to tackle you. Larson was able to do that on that play.
That was the 21st rush for the Denver Broncos. 1st and 10. O'Shawn Moreno. And brought down by Flowers after a gain of 4. Down to the Kansas City 39. 10 teams average 29 carries a game. None have a losing record. 8 are in first place. Running the ball does make a difference. Denver finding their running game this afternoon against the Chiefs. They build up a huge lead at the end of 3 on CBS. We're starting the 4th quarter. That tells the story. Looks like the Broncos have hit a reset button for their season today.
And I think it began with the 1st quarter. Remember, came into today's game having scored only 7 points in the 1st quarter in their previous 8 games.
2nd down and 6. Moreno and trying to find whatever he can. You see Tyson Jackson jumping on his back about the 38, and Solomon a gain of a yard.
Yeah, they continue to pound the running game. 23 run plays called today by Josh McDaniel. He was going to allow the healthy offensive line and a much more healthy O'Shawn Moreno to fuel his offensive attack. We said that Kyle Orton needed balance. He needed a rushing attack to help him win ball games, and boy, has he gotten it today.
98 yards on the ground for Moreno. 3rd down and 5. It's a 1st down catch. Lloyd working on Carr. Nice move out of bounds at the 28. A 9-yard pickup. 1st down. Let's go to James Brown in New York.
Kevin, pride in Dallas showing forth for sure. John Kitna, boy, what a day he is having here. He took up Miles Austin, 24 yards. Kitna, 13 of 19, 327 yards, 3 touchdowns. 33-13 Dallas. Kevin and Solomon.
Well, he's practicing with the first-team offense now.
Yeah, they said the lights were out in that stadium. Doesn't appear as the lights are out with the offense.
Getting the plan likes it. 1st and 10, Moreno. Nice pursuit right there by the Chiefs. Hali along with Derek Johnson, the core of this defense. It's a loss of 5, and they'll push him back to the 32-yard line.
Defense finally stand up, make a play. Derek Johnson getting penetration, running through that backside A gap to pursue O'Shawn Moreno. Derek Johnson recently signed a contract extension earlier in the week. I think it all started with that game he had to close out the 2009 season. Last year was primarily a sub-package player playing in the nickel and dime packages, but he's been an every down player since that game, and he's made big plays.
On 2nd down and 15. Slanting is Demaryius Thomas. He'll be close to a 1st down. In fact, he's got it to the 16-yard line. That's a catch and run, working on Brandon Carr. 16-yard pickup, move the chain.
Brandon Carr has had his hands full. See, he missed on the jam, and he had his eyes in the backfield, and he wasn't really locked in on his receiver. And sometimes when you're looking in the backfield and you are not watching your receiver, the receiver's usually running away from you, getting the kind of separation we saw created on that play.
New quarterback Tim Tebow is in. Larson at his side. 1st down and 10. Tebow's thrown a touchdown pass today. He's run a touchdown in. Can't get away from Tyson Jackson, who closes the door. After a gain of a yard, to the 15-yard line. Well, they signed Orton to an extension earlier in the season after drafting Tebow #1 out of Florida.
And good money spent. If you would have had to wait till now to sign Orton, it might cost you a whole lot more. Tim Tebow, you said it. He's been able to find the end zone today. Was able to find it running the football earlier in the game, and then came back when Josh McDaniel allowed him to throw the football. Easy throw. With so many people crowding the line of scrimmage, Tim Tebow showing his versatility in today's ball game.
Orton back in on 2nd down and 9, as is Moreno. Look at the time.
Patience.
Look at the time.
Wow.
Lloyd, the catch, out of bounds. Caught it out of bounds, working on Carr. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Kyle Orton, I love to watch him play. And when you talk to him, he said inside the red zone. See, they only rush 3 defenders. When you rush 3 defenders, that means 8 are dropping back. So wait. No reason to rush because 3 guys aren't going to get to you. And look at that throw. Did he give his receiver a chance to make a play? I would say so. He understood he had to throw it outside a car. That was as close as it ever gets without it being a completion.
I think Orton may be a surprise to people around the NFL with his big numbers this season.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, these kind of numbers could not have been expected. Looks like they're going to challenge the play. Denver Broncos think that could have been a touchdown by Brandon Lloyd.
May have dotted the I.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's being challenged by Denver. Timeout.
Coming with 11:47 to play here in the 4th quarter. They'll go under the hood, and when he knows, you will know.
Welcome back to Denver, where we say the eye and the sky don't lie. Brandon Lloyd is both feet in bounds. Let's stop it right there and give you a better look. I think he's able to drag that back foot, and he was able to get both feet in bounds with possession of the ball. That's the key point. Look at the feet and look at the hands. There's the feet. Look at that back foot. See, he drags and he makes contact, and the ball is in his possession.
The receiver's right foot hit inbounds after his second foot. Scores good. Denver is not charged with team timeout, but Denver is out of challenges.
When you have pictures to prove it, you can't deny it. And Josh McDaniel is wonderfully happy. We said the eye in the sky don't lie, and Brandon Lloyd shaking his, I should say Brandon Carr, the defensive back for the Chiefs, is shaking his head. But he'll go back and he'll watch the tape and he'll understand that it was just a great catch by Brandon Lloyd, and what a toe-tapping job in the corner of the end zone.
Kyle Orton has thrown 4 touchdown passes today, 2 to Lloyd, 1 to Gaffney, 1 to Noshawn Moreno. Tebow with a touchdown run and a touchdown pass. Trainer makes it 49-17. Early 4th quarter. The Broncos are going to make a race of it in the AFC West. Great day for Denver Bronco quarterback Kyle Orton. 4 touchdown passes, 294 yards on the season now, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Those are numbers that would make John Elway proud.
John Elway talked to the team this week. John Elway was trying to give him a pep talk in practice this week.
Paying off big time. And Kyle Orton told us that, you know, John Elway and Brian Greasy, who still reside in the area, have been a tremendous source for him and someone to talk to. No one knows what it's like going through the week during difficult times being a quarterback in the NFL like another quarterback.
Brian Tucker, his first NFL kickoff return, the bobble, and he'll take it out. And that's what he meets. Jarvis Moss makes the stop. 18-yard return. Here come the Chiefs, trailing big early in the 4th. Josh McDaniels has set up his offense for 49 points. Today, actually, they had a defensive touchdown and a fumble return touchdown by Jason Hunter, 75 yards. But 42 are credited to the offense.
Tied for second most in franchise history. What a job by Josh McDaniels and the Denver Broncos.
Chiefs have it 1st and 10 from their 17-yard line. Here comes Moss. There goes Castle. Deep to Charles. Covered on the play by DJ Williams. 2nd down and 10. Let's take you to our CBS studios and James Brown.
Hey, Kevin and Solomon, Giants not giving up. Take a look at Eli Manning hooking up here with Kevin Boss, a wide open Kevin Boss. He takes it 35 yards in the scoring play to narrow the Dallas lead 33-20, close to the end of the third period of play. Kevin and Solomon.
Hey, JB, can Jason Garrett play defense? Because, you know, everyone talks about the offense there in Dallas. I think the defense has really let that team down this year.
Second down and 10. Copper brought down on the play by Nate Jones. 14-yard catch, first down. Mark him at the 31.
Now, we talk about the impressive coaching job done today by Josh McDaniel, head coach of the Denver Broncos. As you take a look at this play, I think it's really impressive when you consider he's going up against a couple of his mentors in Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel. They know him very well, and the job that he's done preparing his team to get ready to play the Kansas City Chiefs, they have to even be impressed with the job he's done.
First and 10. Right on the money, caught by Bo. They finally blow the whistle. Hit on the play by McBath. As the Chiefs have brought in Ryan O'Callahan to play that right tackle on this series. 23-yard catch.
Let's watch and see. With all the time afforded to the quarterback Castle, let's see how Bo works to get open, to beat one of the best in the NFL in Champ Bailey. He keeps working, finds his way in the underneath coverage. Bailey saying, how low do I have to cover him? Can we get some pressure on the quarterback to help a guy in coverage?
Look at the numbers for Bo there at the top of your screen. First down and 10 from the Denver 46.
Comes the blitz.
Second and 10. And really without Doomerville, they've had to kind of do more of that as
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket. Second down.
And that's what we were saying Castle should have been doing earlier in the game. When you get out of the pocket, throw it away.
Wednesday on CBS. Winning this case will take a lot of patience, a little luck, and a touch of magic. Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller, guest star on The Defenders, Wednesday only on CBS. Second down and 10. Castle's thrown 2 touchdown passes today. Slings it outside. Bo makes reception number 11. Slides for a 14-yard pickup. Mark him at the 32, working on Champ Bailey.
Huge day for Dwayne Bowe. 11 catches, 164 yards. We talked about the best defense against Kansas City Chiefs' ability to run the football was getting a huge lead on the scoreboard. And that has forced Matt Castle to have to throw the ball more than the Chiefs would like. And so the production has gone to Dwayne Bowe.
First and 10 from the Denver 32. Again time. Again for Bowe. Out of bounds. Coverage by Champ. It'll be second down. But how much of this is the defense playing back, given a cushion? And so there's going to be a lot of statistical building plays like Bowe has been making here recently.
Look at Champ Bailey. He's saying, no, don't send anybody in for me. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm having to defend the pass on every single down. But if you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, 36 yards rushing. When you look at that stat number at the end of the day, you say, how do you hold them to 36 yards rushing? We force them to throw the football on every single down.
Veran Tucker came in for Bowe. Here's a second and 10 handoff, and it goes to the slithery Charles, who's down to the 25-yard line, picking up 7 yards on the play. He is a tough guy to get a handle on. But the Chiefs, who were down early 35-0, have really been taken out of their game since the opening moments of the game because they've been playing from behind the entire game.
40 pass attempts entering this play.
Third and 3, Charles. Getting some blocking out there from Copper and from Tucker, and picks up a yard and out of bounds just inside the 25. We'll mark him at the 24-yard line of Denver.
And I guarantee you, Charlie Weiss would never go into a game, considering who he has in his backfield, Jamal Charles and Thomas Jones, and design a game plan where they're going to throw it twice as many times as they're going to run it. But that's what they've done to date in this ball game. 40 pass attempts and only 20 rushing attempts. So those numbers are out of whack for the Kansas City Chiefs when you talk about their formula for winning.
Battle in the backfield. Bowe is back in, 4th and 2. Jackie Battle bulldozing his way for the first down to the 20-yard line. Hit on the play by Kevin Vickerson. Gain of 4. They'll move the chains.
You know, this is a very young team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Just about all of their draft picks in this 2010 class, which we think is a wonderful draft class, have played a significant role during the season.
1st and 10 to the end zone. Almost picked off. Incomplete. Darcel McBath, who has missed some time with injury. Can't get it. 2nd down.
You put this ball on the back shoulder of Tony Moeaki on the tight end. See, it's on the back shoulder, and that's why McBath can slash underneath. Should have had the interception. If he could hold on to it, he's got himself a nice interception there.
And while Kansas City has a lot of youth, Denver's interesting. They got a young offense, and they've got a lot of age on the defensive side of the ball.
Especially in that secondary where they have veterans back there, and that's why they wanted to be able to load the box in terms of their run defense and put the game on the shoulders of their veteran defenders back deep.
On their 2nd down and 10. Low and caught across the way. That's Chambers working on Cox. Gain of 11. 1st down, goal to go. The Chiefs have it at the Denver 9.
Close coverage by Cox, but not enough to prevent the completion.
Battle in the backfield. 1st and goal. Copper. Opened by Cox. Belted by Dawkins, the longtime Eagle. Gain of 3. Down to the 7-yard line.
And that's a play where Cox just wasn't ready to play. He wasn't in position. Castle took advantage of it, just flipped it out real quick. Got an easy completion to Copper.
Second and goal at the 6. The end zone, nobody there. Over the head of Bo. The pressure was right up the middle. And it was applied by Jason Hunter, among others. Right into the grill of Matt Castle, who was sought by the coach of the Denver Broncos when he first got to Denver, which led to the problems with Cutler.
You remember that scenario,
yes,
don't you?
I think everybody does.
Josh McDaniel wanted his guy. He wanted Castle. There was no doubt. He groomed him in New England. He knew the system, knew the offense, but he ended up with a pretty good quarterback in Kyle Orton.
3rd and goal at the 6 on Kansas City's 14th play of this drive, which started back at their 17. Timeout taken by the Chiefs. Matt Castle will make the long walk to the sideline in a game where his team trails 49-17. Chiefs have got their play. 3rd and 6, 3rd and goal at the 6. They just called a timeout. Upcoming will be the 14th play of the drive. Battle in the backfield. Castle under center. Batted down. Nice pressure. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. It looked like maybe Dawkins coming from the corner.
Yeah, you can see Dawkins just hovering around the line of scrimmage, getting into the throwing lane, reading the eyes of the quarterback. Heads up play by the veteran safety.
Dawkins, an 8-time Pro Bowler, back there with Bailey, a 9-time Pro Bowler. Here is a 4th and goal for the Chiefs at the Denver 6. Denver had a goal line stand, you may recall, earlier in the game.
Do you run it or pass it? Read the defense.
And fires it hard. Play was blown dead in
Before the
mid-motion.
snap, delayed, offense, 5-yard penalties.
Penalties today. That is only the 2nd on the Chiefs. They had a ton last week against Oakland. And for those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS in the game between the Chiefs and the Broncos. Kevin Harlan and Solomon Wilcott's here in Vesco Field at Mile High. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast, when you will see it at its normal time. 4th and goal at the 11. Kyle Orton has thrown 4 touchdown passes. Tim Tebow's got 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 on the air. Castle caught for a touchdown. Chambers, coverage on the play by Bailey. A flag is down. Chris Chambers, the 10-year veteran out of Wisconsin, Picked up middle of last season.
Champ Bailey knows you can't allow the receiver to get across your face and shield you from the ball.
Interference. Defense number 24 is declined. Play results to score.
And Matt Castle has thrown his third touchdown pass today.
The error in the coverage by Bailey, as you take a look to the right side of your screen, can't allow the receiver to get across your face, because now he shields you from the football. Bailey had no choice but to try to fight through Chambers to get that ball out.
Chambers' first touchdown reception of the season. First time the Chiefs are going to try for 2 this year. Battle in the backfield for Matt Castle. Fake to Copper. In the corner. Broken up by Bailey that time. Got a bit of revenge. They were going in the corner for Dwayne Bowe.
And Bailey says enough of this. You pick on the veteran a little too long. He's going to make a play. Look at him fighting, closing on the ball with speed. Look at that left hand as he gets it in. That's why he's one of the best. You're going to get beat sometimes, but the ability to bounce back from failure, that's a trademark of any great cornerback.
Well, coming up, time permitting, after the game, the Subway postgame show with James Brown, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower. For the latest NFL scores, news, and highlights, that's coming up on the Subway postgame show from our studios in New York. Matt Castle has thrown 77 passes in the last 2 games. That is not the Chiefs' personnel.
Oh, no, it's not their formula. They'll tell you they want to get off the bus running the football, and Matt Castle told us that last night. He said that the Broncos are going to have to stop us from doing what we do best. But the way they've been able to force this game onto the shoulders of Matt Castle is by forcing him to chase the Denver Broncos on the scoreboard. So attempting 42 passes in today's game, well over 300 yards. And the one that he wishes he had back the most was on the sack by Mario Higgins. And then he fumbled, and then Hunter was able to return it for a touchdown. I think that one is the one that he's going to fly back to Kansas City thinking about the most.
So now, Todd Haley, I think, has probably called an onside kick. And just to put this in perspective, the Chiefs are 0 for their last 16 onside kicks going back to the final game of 04.
What do you do differently? You hope for a better bounce.
That's what we get.
That's not it.
Another failed attempt. Didn't even go the mandatory length. The Chiefs are thinking, they've got it. Looks so is Todd Haley.
Well, it doesn't have to go the length if the Broncos touch the ball. Once they touch it, it becomes a live ball for anyone to recover.
And they were the first to touch it, but did the guy hold on once they had the pile? You can see some discussion among the two teams. And
too much of a discussion to signal that the ball has changed possessions.
Looks like
we'll see.
Wesley Woodyard has come up with it. Of Denver.
There's no foul for illegal formation. The ball is recovered by Kansas City. First down.
Kansas City's got it, although Woodyard came out of the pile, so it must have it hit a Bronco player and ricocheted away. Oh, now we've got some issues.
Okay.
These guys for not.
Oh, keep on your microphone. We'd love to hear the discussion.
We would love to hear it.
Yes, we would love to hear the discussion. See, Woodyard
there it
had
is.
it.
Ball out.
Yep.
Now, a lot of red jerseys around Woodyard's legs. Can you recover it with your legs if the other guy has it with their arms? And
I would
based on what we see, I think they may award the ball to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I would think legs are stronger than arms.
Todd Haley doesn't want to hear anything different than what was initially announced.
Well, they've got quite a discussion going on with this crew.
Correction. There's a foul for illegal formation on the kicking team. Had only 3 men on the side of the kicker. That's a 5-yard penalty when we kick.
Oh, they lucked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and that's a new rule.
Yeah, Denver.
Per the 2010 season. You have to have at least 4 players on each side of the kicker. And if you had only 3 on one side, and they have Polaroids, which is Todd Haley said,
their own replay system.
We have pictures here that show. We had 4. We had another player on the other side. Now, maybe they didn't count them initially. Let's go ahead and look. Okay, freeze it there. So you have 4 guys over there.
Well, sure.
And clearly they had an overload to the kicking side.
And
so Todd Haley said, we've got pictures.
For not having 3 men outside the hash mark, we'll re-kick for the 5-yard penalty.
They've taken it to another level. They're talking about position on the field.
So now the more technical portion of the rule is that they have to not just be on that side of the kicker, but outside of the hash area. So let's go ahead and take a look. See, I think he's outside the hash area, but here's what happens. Now at the point of the kick, he moves inside. And so that's what they're going to call him on.
Well, this is the second time the Chiefs have had a successful onside kick this year, called back and disallowed because of penalty. One time against San Francisco. And look, he's still showing it. He's still showing it. That shades of Bill Cowher. Remember Bill Cowher a couple of years ago for the Steelers? Wanted to show the official something and put it in the pocket of the official.
You know why he shoved it in his pocket? The official refused to look at it. So you know Coach Cowher, he's feisty. He said, if you don't look at it now, take this to the locker room with you.
Look, he's still showing them. Here we go now. Ooh, that went right against Gaffney and ricocheted right to a Bronco at the 42-yard line of the Chiefs, and it was picked up on the play by Bruton. It's like pinball out there.
Oh, yeah, that's what you
Bang,
want.
and then Bruton vacuums it in.
Fortunate Broncos. Todd Haley is steaming.
Well, just think how his life and the life of this team has changed in the last 2 weeks. They were 5-2 heading to Oakland last week. Had they won, they could have been up by 2.5 games. They come into today after losing last week in overtime up by a half game, and if they go on to lose, as the score would indicate, they will be tied for first with Denver now much closer. Here's a 1st and 10. Moreno. And he picks up 2 yards on the play, 96 for the day. CBSSports.com experts are providing the award-winning advice you need to finish strong in your fantasy football league. It's all at fantasynews.cbssports.com. Every Sunday morning all over the country, CBS broadcast booths, all of our play-by-play and color analysts do a report on the latest news, injuries, and differences in starting lineups, changes that might affect your fantasy lineup. It's worth watching, and it's at CBSSports.com. Here is a 2nd down and 8. As Orton is still in after throwing the 4 touchdown passes today. Gain of 3. No Sean Moreno. He was a #1 pick out of Georgia a season ago.
No, Sean Moreno has been a huge factor in today's game. 19 carries. He's been able to add balance to this offense, keep them on schedule. Very productive running the ball on 1st downs. And then his ability to move the chains. He's able to catch the ball out of the backfield, scoring a touchdown. He's able to get 99 yards rushing in today's game. More importantly, adding balance to the offense to help his quarterback, Kyle Orton.
On 3rd down and 5 with the empty backfield. Complete. A lot of traffic right there. They were going for Daniel Graham, the tight end, the ex-New England Patriot. And it becomes 4th down and 5. They'll punt.
Kyle Orton has been able to avoid the interception bug today. That ball almost went off the hands of Dan Graham into the hands of Eric Berry for the interception.
Well, there is Britton Colquitt. His brother Dustin punts for the Chiefs. It's the first time in NFL history and probably in pro football history that 2 brothers have punted against each other. This one will be down, it looks like, at the 1. Decker got it, but Nate Jones volleyballs it back. Nope, now they're going to say it went in the end zone. But we've had like the Gogolak brothers and the Zendejas brothers all kick against each other, but never brothers punt against each other.
You can see this one goes in, and
boy, it looked pretty good.
They said he went in.
Yep, touched the goal.
And how about their dad, Craig Colquitt, actually punted, and there they go before the game.
It's a nice picture.
First time ever, and their dad, Craig Colquitt, remember, punted for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was drafted by, of course, Mr. Haley. There's his dad right there. How about Dick Haley, the father of Todd Haley? recruited him and drafted him to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there's some tremendous connections here between the Colquitt family.
How many batted down passes has he had? There's Marcus Thomas slapping one play like he's playing handball out there tonight on CBS. All new beginning with 60 Minutes, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, and CSI Miami. That's tonight only on CBS. And to extend that story a little bit further, while growing up as a ball boy for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Todd Haley used to retrieve punts in practice for Craig Colquitt, who won 2 Super Bowl rings, by the way, with the Steelers. 2nd down and 10. Blitz is on. Here comes an open space, Charles. And then he submarines his way and brought down on the play in the secondary by McBath, a catch and run of 23.
These are the plays they were trying to get out of Jamal Charles early in the ball game, and his ability to do it even now with the score pretty much out of hand. And you'll be interested to see how that might factor in what they do in the weeks moving forward, getting Jamal Charles the ball coming out of the backfield.
Here's a 1st and 10 pass going for Copper with coverage. Jones wasn't back, and they got a penalty marker on the play. Sidquan Thompson, a rookie out of Cal, teammate of the Chiefs.
Holding. Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
That's Jake O'Connell, who's 2nd-year tight end for the Chiefs. That'll mark him back. Well, Solomon, this AFC West has certainly become more crowded. What an interesting 7 games remain for this division alone.
And if you're Todd Haley and the Chiefs, don't despair. In 3 weeks, you're going to play these same Denver Broncos at home at Arrowhead Stadium. In fact, your final 4 of your last 7 games are going to be at home. And you know Arrowhead is a tough place for visiting teams to try to win a ball game.
1st and 20 now from the 34. And Chambers can't get it. He was jousting with Parrish Cox. A flag has been thrown back at the 24-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10 yards, still 1st down.
That's the left tackle, Brandon Albert. So here is the upcoming schedule for the Denver Broncos, who play next at San Diego.
And 4 of their last 7 games are going to be on the road. I think their final 2 at home, including the season finale at home against San Diego Chargers. You got to just hang around and be within striking distance. Wouldn't you love it if you're the Denver Broncos to be going into that final game playing for a division title against the San Diego Chargers, a team that's won the division the last 4 years.
That is a Monday night game, by the way. 1st and 30. They need the 47 of Denver. Charles, chased by DJ Williams, run out of bounds by Thompson. And he scampers for 12, and they'll mark him at the 35.
And now he's improving as the game has gone on, catching the ball out of the backfield, making sure he makes the catch and then creating yards afterwards. And so I got to believe Charlie Weiss is getting Jamal Charles some in-game work that could bode well for their production as the season progresses.
Castle, 400 yards passing today in 45 passes. 3 touchdown passes. This is not the way the Chiefs want to play. Throw is sent out of bounds by Champ Bailey. No gain. Let's go to New York and James Brown.
Kevin Insadi, San Francisco takes the lead over St. Louis as Troy Smith caps a 6-play, 76-yard drive with that 16-yarder there to Michael Crabtree. They move ahead 20-17. 2:10 left in regulation. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
A couple of Heisman Trophy winners battling. Bradford, the quarterback for the Rams. That good-looking young kid for the San Francisco 49ers, who initially was drafted by Baltimore. Here's a 3rd and 18. Thank you, James. Appreciate the update. Time for Castle. Chased by McBath. On the move. Needs the 47-yard line. Scampers out of bounds. Bailey ushers him out across the way after a run of 4 to the 38. You were kind of impressed last week watching tape of Castle with his footwork and his ability to be nimble in the pocket.
He's much more athletic than you would expect for a quarterback his size, and he moves really well. You could see his escapability once the pocket began to close in on him, and that's why I was really critical early on. You see the 4 sacks, 15 hurries, knocked down 7 times, of him holding on to the ball so long and getting sacked and knocked out of field goal range. He's too mobile, too athletic to take sacks in those situations. You can at least buy more time so that he can get outside of the tackle box and get rid of the football.
Timeout And the hobbling Castle goes to the side. It's a 4th and 15 upcoming. Kansas City has burned their second timeout. And this is what they've got. They'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week at Rockin' Arrowhead.
And then 3 weeks from now against the Denver Broncos at home. We said 4 of their next 7 were at home. I think that's a huge advantage for the Kansas City Chiefs. And remember, the San Diego Chargers, special teams has been the problem. And you know that Kansas City is going to be targeting that area when they take on one another in that game on December 12th.
What makes the Chargers such an interesting story, the #1 offense, #1 defense in so many categories, hottest quarterback in the league right now with Rivers, guys getting healthy. If they get Gates back from the plantar fasciitis, if they get Jackson with his head screwed on straight, the wide receiver, I mean, they're going to be in a position, as they seem to always finish the second half of the season, Solomon, very strong.
I contend they've got to fix the special teams. They've had 5 punts blocked so far this year. You can't win a lot of games when that's happening.
Agreed. 4th and 15 after the timeout. Castle going deep and looking for Chambers, who had caught up in the traffic and the coverage. A flag is down at the 25. It is, I think it's against the Chiefs.
Pass interference. Offense, number 84, is declined. Denver takes over on downs. First down.
We've seen more of that this year than I can recall.
Yeah, but still a rare sighting.
Yes.
And he pushes off twice against Champ Bailey, trying to get separation. Does Chris Chambers, and he threw the flag on him.
Give us a little clarity as a defensive back. We know we got that 5-yard right off the line of scrimmage.
Absolutely.
But there can be a little bit of hand fighting on the way down. Not strong, but there can be some touch.
And sometimes I think the rules are interpreted incorrectly. If a defensive back touches a wide receiver beyond the 5-yard boundary mark, that he's flagged for pass interference. That does not constitute interference.
Moreno's got a 100-yard game today, 1st and 10. And that is a 4-yard gain to the Kansas City 34-yard line, and Gilberry jumps on his back and brings him down. All right, with the win today, now just a couple games out of first place. Look at this. Look what happens to Denver with the win, 3 and 6. Idle San Diego, idle Oakland, but because the Raiders beat the Chiefs last week, they've got the advantage, and they're 5 and 4, and in first place. Record is the same as Kansas City's.
And you know Josh McDaniel was selling that point to his football team during the course of the bye week, to be able to give them the big picture and then have them focus in on the details of what's required to win this ball game here today.
2nd and 6 with Moreno picking up 2 more. Now he's got 106 on the day. Coming up, time permitting, from our CBS studios after the game, the Subway postgame show with James Brown, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Bill Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show from New York. Those guys have had a long day with a lot of different stories today in the NFL. Favre and the Vikings losing. Bills got their first win on the road in Detroit by a couple points. What a weird season.
As we expect right now there to be some separation in these divisions, they seem to be moving closer together.
Yes, I know it.
You know, it's almost like week 1 all over again.
3rd and 5, the handoff went to Noshan Moreno. Gain of 2. We're at the 2-minute warning here in Denver. All right, tonight on CBS, all new, beginning with 60 Minutes, followed by new episodes of The Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, and CSI Miami. A great night of television. It's all here tonight on CBS, and time permitting, it's the Subway postgame report from New York on 4th and 4. Well, Buckholder shoved out of bounds by Berry. That is a gain of 2. He's to the Kansas City 31, shy of the first down. So on downs, it'll go back to the Chiefs. You looked at Kyle Orton there seconds ago. 4 touchdown passes today, 296 yards, 22 of 34 for Orton. Tim Tebow had a rushing touchdown. He had a passing touchdown, his first in the realm of his NFL career. Matt Castle today, 400 yards passing. Chiefs have a timeout. Denver's got 2, 1:55 to play. Denver is going to record their 3rd win, and the Chiefs are going to record their 2nd consecutive loss on the road to a division foe. Pleasing performance by Kyle Orton. You could tell by the smile on the face of Josh McDaniels. He's really happy with his quarterback. Here's a 1st and 10 throw by Castle. That's Leonard Pope, all 6'8" of them. Going outside. Brought down on the play by defensive back Kyle McCarthy. It's a gain of 9. They move the ball to the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 1. Jackie Battle is at his side. Castle for Copper. And he was hit by Zidquan Thompson. He makes the catch. What a great two-handed grab. That's a 6-yard gain. And he has the 1st down to the 45.
And over the last 2 weeks, despite the fact they are not going to come away with a win against the Raiders and today against the Denver Broncos, I think Copper and Tucker are 2 young wide receivers that's beginning to emerge in this offense. They've been forced to throw the ball maybe more than they want, but how about improvement for some of the young wide receivers that could bode well for them down the road.
Castle 1st and 10. This one is Lasso taken by Copper down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards. And on the coverage for the Denver Broncos, look to stop Parrish Cox, who starts today for the injured Andre Goodman. Look at that. 50 throws. 1st and 10. Throws it away. Pressure came up the middle. Kevin Vickerson. McBath. Right in the face of Copper. Good 3-sack day today for Mario Hagan.
Yeah, and they had struggled to rush the quarterback. You can see the first career win at home against an AFC West divisional opponent for Josh McDaniels. And we talked about the number of throws for Matt Castle as we were showing his numbers there. How about no interceptions with so many throws in the ball game?
2nd down and 10. Castle winding up and through.
Wow.
Nice catch made across the way. That's Pope again. Working on Bailey. 13-yard pickup. And they will put him at the 23-yard line of the Denver Broncos.
Sometimes when you lose a game and you're forced to play or fight the opponent's fight, and this isn't the fight that Kansas City wanted. They wanted to run the ball. They did not design a game where they were going to attempt 50 or more pass attempts for Matt Castle, but I think you can grow in some areas when you play games that way that you didn't intend. And Matt Castle is showing signs of improvement in throwing the football. He's made better decisions here in the second half than he did in the first half.
1st down and 10. And Castle to the end zone. Boom! With his 2nd touchdown reception of the day. A 22-yard strike, the 4th touchdown thrown by Castle. Bo with an acrobatic catch. You know, it seems like, as you can watch it once again, that this is meaningless, but for the Chiefs, who are getting blown out here today, trying to get some momentum, Solomon, right, heading into next week and trying to right the ship, get the compass pointed in the right direction. These are pretty important possessions.
And they came in the game with the 30th ranked passing attack. You know, the 3rd worst in the National Football League, but showing improvement today against a really good secondary for the Denver Broncos. So this performance by Castle and their wide receivers, it's not to be taken lightly.
Their 2nd or 30-second timeout.
Time taken with 10 seconds left in the game by the Denver Broncos. They had 2, they're down to 1.
You can see Josh McDaniel. He was smiling a minute ago when he was talking to Kyle Lord until he saw this drive. I think it's going to be something, you know, coaches always look to something that they can gripe about during the week on Monday to really retrain the focus of the football team. And I think he's going to point to this possession. And he's going to be happy with what the offense did, but he's going to say to the offense, if we could have kept it for a little bit, we wouldn't have had to put the defense back on the field. The defense has been on the field a lot today. And maybe they've worn down a little bit, but certainly Matt Castle has come up with some productive plays against a really, what I think is a great secondary with the likes of Champ Bailey and Brian Dawkins.
And the 2-point try. "60 Minutes is on deck here on CBS. Hope moved.
False start, 45, 5-yard penalty, still trying.
Well, the bottom line for Denver is they get a win. They put really all their eggs in this basket. And had they lost today, it would have been loss number 7. Realistically, their chances in the division gone. Now they are relevant. They're within 2 games of first place. For Kansas City, losing. Now they've lost 2 in a row. They're going to have to regroup. Castle trying for the two-point try, and that is incomplete, looking for Bo. And they had Nate Jones right there with the coverage for the Denver Broncos. So again, Oakland with their win last week, and they've won 3 consecutive games, and 4 of their last 5 are technically in first place because they beat the Chiefs last week in their only meeting. They and the Chiefs are tied at 5-4. Rampaging San Diego is next up, and they are moving with a full head of steam. Watch out for them. They might be one of the best teams right now in the AFC, just a game away. And then Denver, only 2 games out after tonight's win.
Huge game next week. Denver Broncos, San Diego Chargers. I just think that's a huge game.
I agree.
In the AFC West. And how about the Kansas City Chiefs? Remember, Todd Haley was once the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals when they went to the Super Bowl. And so both coaches have a lot to look forward to. And there's the president and owner, Pat Bowlen. And I'm sure he's happy with the results and the efforts of his young head coach and Josh McDaniels. There's Todd Haley saying, hey, get ready next week.
Yep.
He wants to beat his former team, the Arizona Cardinals.
And the Chiefs are in desperate need of a win. After being 5-2, they go west and lose in Oakland in overtime. And now we're going to see an interesting little setup here by Suckup. Out of bounds, they'll put it at the 40.
Kickoff out of bounds will be placed at the 40-yard line. First down.
So we saw one quarterback throw for 469 yards, Castle, and 4 touchdowns. We saw the other quarterback throw for 4 touchdowns as well. Neither quarterback threw an interception today. Orton throwing for 269 yards. For the first time in a long time, the Broncos had a running game. Moreno rushes for 106 yards on the ground. And the Broncos, who had the bye, come back and feel probably pretty good about their win today.
Orton did the things he said he wanted to do. Play better in the first quarter, get the production, and convert in the red zone, and he was 6 of 10 on 3rd down today.
Final score, Broncos beating Kansas City 49-29 as the quarterbacks meet and the head coaches will shake hands. Tonight on CBS 60 Minutes, followed by The Amazing Race, Undercover Boss, and CSI Miami. For Solomon Wilcox, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Denver, Colorado. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.